Okay, Shalom. Giving all praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash.
And double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And salutation, I came out there that puts this word in truth and its sincerity. We're in the year where the Lord is turning things up. You see what's going on? First and foremost, the shooting in Buffalo, that was of the Most High. Then you got the shooting, that was Negroes, old hoes, certain men, but many old hoes. Now, the shooting in Texas was dealing with young children. These are, we could bring out scriptures to show that the Most High is bringing forth his judgment. So now, what we're going to get is, the first scripture, we're going to get Ezekiel 9 and 4. And then we're going to, bring out other scriptures, bringing forth the Most High's judgment. So we're going to get Ezekiel 9 and 4 first.
I got it. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, verse 4. And it says, and behold, the glory of the God of Israel was there.
Matter of fact, start the first verse.
Ezekiel, chapter 9, verse 1. Ezekiel, chapter 9, verse 1. He crieth also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even
those that have charge over the city to draw near, so that they're men that's high officials, high ranking in this ministry, man. So the men that's high ranking in this ministry, yeah, bro.
He crieth also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand.
Now that's also talking about the angels, man. A destroying weapon in his hand, man. Because them angels, they appease the wrath of the Lord that sent them, man. So them angels are going to do the bidding of the Most High. They're going to fuck up an old hoe or a young hoe. An old man or a young man. Read.
Verse 2. And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north.
So now, when you get to these scriptures, you got to understand that the Most High could bring an angel in the form of a man. He still could be an angel, but he's in the form of a man. Read.
Which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand.
And every man, which is represented as an angel, a slaughtering weapon in his hand. They got swords in their hand, and they're ready to do damage. They're ready to do the Most High's bidding. They're ready to do all kind of manner of hurt, man. Read.
And one man among them was clothed with linen, with the writer's ink, horn by his side. And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. And the glory of the Most High of Israel was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side.
That was that angel that had that weapon, that destroying weapon, and read it again.
And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side.
And that inkhorn is representing a weapon, man. Read.
And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city.
Go through the midst of the city.
Through the midst of Jerusalem.
Now Jerusalem is a people before it become a place, man. So now we scattered up the 4 corners of the earth. So now we know that Jerusalem is a people before it become a place. So wherever there's Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Issachar, Ephraim dwelling, that's Jerusalem.
And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry.
And that mark is 2 different marks. It's a mark to war, which means exempt from judgment, you know? Whereas the 2/3, they receive the mark which is that charagma, that's totally different from the mark of the 1/3. The mark of the 1/3 is that Torah, which is exempt from judgment, because they're not going to be judged. They're doing the work of the Most High. Read.
And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sign that cry.
And all the men that sign that's crying is for all the abominations that's being done in the midst thereof. Homosexuality, lesbianism. You got all kind of manner of wickedness going on. Adultery, gang banging, drug dealing. The men of the Lord are signing and crying, man. Because they are tired of all this wickedness that's being brought forth by the hands of the 2/3 and by the hands of Esau. Because Esau's promoting this wickedness, man. Esau is the one that's promoting it. Esau, being the so-called white man, is promoting this wickedness, man. And they're using Jake. And then what they do behind closed doors, pray to the Most High. You see what these Jakes are doing? Trying to get their birthright back, man. Read.
For all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city, and smite.
Read it from the top again.
And to the others he said in mine hearing,
Read it from the top.
okay, verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem.
Now, like I said, Jerusalem is a people before it become a place. So now, whatever that's Israelites scattered, and we scattered at the four corners of the earth, so we're going to have the word going out. Going through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and put a mark on the men that sign cry. So now, that mark is this truth, exempt from judgment, man, that the war, man. So now here it is, the men that accept this truth, take this truth, cling on to this truth, and go out there in the houses and the byways and start prophesizing, you know what I mean? They sign and crying. But to the rest that forsake this truth, read.
And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sign that cry, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in mine hearing.
And to the others, he said in his hearing, the Most High want to hear their cries. Read.
Go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
The Most High is telling you. You see what happened in Texas? You see what happened in Buffalo? That was judgment of the Most High, man. Like it says, we're going to read it. Read. Yeah.
And smite, and let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young.
Now in Buffalo, them old hoes, them big mamas, they got put to death. 86 years old. She was innocent. No, she wasn't innocent because she was once young. And that bitch did all kind of manner of wickedness. That's why the Most High judged her, man. That was her judgment. To be 86 years old and they get and to perish in a shootout, man. With some Edomite shooting everybody in the goddamn supermarket. That was her judgment, man. She wasn't innocent. She was once a young hoe. But she became an old hoe. But once she 86, all her wickedness, now, in the eyes of this society, she was an 86-year-old woman. She was 86. She was prominent woman in the church. She did this, she did that. The Most High knew all her fucking shit that she did, man. And that's what he judged her. He judged her.
Slay utterly old and young.
Old and young. Now, the old hoes in Buffalo. Now you got the young men, young children in Texas, man. This is the judgment of the Lord, Yahweh Yahweh Shai. You understand? Are you comprehending? Are you comprehending what we're saying? Read it from the top again, man. So they get so good. And read it slow for the slow of heart, man.
Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 5. 9 verse 6. Salakia. Slay utterly old and young.
Slay utterly old and young. Now, in Buffalo, you had the big mamas, them old hoes being put to death, man. Oh, they was old, they did that, but what about the wickedness they did in their young years? When they was in their 20s, when they was in their 30s, when they was in their 40s, now in their 80s, they're not considered saints. The Most High know all the atrocities these motherfucking women committed, man. That's why it says slay utterly old and young. Ezekiel 9:4, bro. Read.
Both maids and little children.
A maid is a young woman. And little children. Look what happened in Texas. The Most High slew 18 kids, man. So, hey, who's right? The Most High's right, man. Stay utterly old and young, huh? You need an umbrella? Okay, so I'm gonna get my car. So,
Oh, you want to use mine?
yeah.
Or you?
Y'all need this?
Nah,
That's
no,
all good.
Y'all do this?
nah,
Yeah, you got the extra one.
All right, good. All right, do I?
It's not okay.
So, yeah, so,
Yeah.
I got one here.
Mm-hmm.
Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children.
that's what happened in Buffalo. It happened in Texas. The Most High slew the young, the old in Buffalo and the young in Texas, man. This is judgment, man. You can't see it. We bringing up the scriptures. Ezekiel 9:4 on down. We bringing up the scriptures. What the Lord's gonna say? He's gonna say unto the old and young, old hoes, the old hoes that perished in Buffalo and that supermarket, and then the young hoes and the young kids that perished in Texas. Read.
Psalms 68:20. He that is our power is the power of salvation. And unto the Most High, the Lord belong the issue from death.
Amen. The Lord our power, the Lord Yahweh Shai is the power of salvation. He's our salvation. And unto him belong the issues of death. And that's why you see what's going on with the four corners of the earth. The Most High is orchestrating everything, man. It's not Satan. The Most High is orchestrating these things, man. What you see coming down the pipe, what you see happening throughout the four corners of the earth is the Most High, man. Because the Most High, pursuant to 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 4, he's visiting the world which he made, man. So you can't escape the judgment, man. I don't care how much you try to sidestep and try to spin it in your own words, the Most High is visiting the world which he made, man.
Finish up with that, kid. I got a quick reset. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6.
That's right.
The Lord killeth and maketh alive.
The Lord Yahweh, why Yahweh shall kill him and make him alive, man. So all this judgment that's coming to pass, man. You see, you gotta understand something, man. The Most High have no respect of persons. All these spirits that's in this world we living in right now, they're ancient spirits. And they keep coming back through something called reincarnation. Re mean back in, and carnal mean the flesh. So these spirits coming back in the flesh, man. So the Lord have no respect of persons. Every last one of them little kids that perished in that Texas massacre, in that school shooting, they were old souls. And they was paying for the iniquity what they did in their previous life. Even though they was young, 10, 7, 8, 9, 11, they didn't do no wickedness in the society, but guess what? They had to pay for what they did in their previous life, man. And that's why the Most High required that which was past, man. You people don't know the Lord, man. You don't know the Lord, man. And that's why the Most High did that, man. All them young souls that perished in that Texas shooting, they was not innocent, man. Even though they was innocent in the eyes of you people because they didn't do no wrong. They was 10, 11 years old, but what about their old soul? their souls go back to the ancient world. Got something? Anybody got something?
Yeah, I got something for you. This is in Ezekiel's actually chapter up. Ezekiel's 8 and I'll start 13 straight to the point. It says, I'll go to 12. I've already gone more, but I'll go to 12. Ezekiel's 8 and 12. Then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark? The ancients. You know?
The ancients, the sons of Israel. They was worshiping idols, doing that which was wicked in the eyes of the Most High. Through that the Most High have his eyes upon Israel.
Yep.
So therefore, all the ancient men that was doing wickedness, the Most High required that from them. You know what I'm saying? Going back to when they crucified Yahweh Shah, man. When they said, let his blood be upon our sons and our children's sons. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, they had to pay for that, man. Read.
It says, every man in the chambers of his imagery. For they say, the Lord seeth us not, the Lord has forsaken the earth.
And that's what these jakes do. They think the Most High's not seeing them. But the Most High's eyes are upon the sinful king. That relate back to Israel, but guess what? Now we live in the town of Babylon. So the Most High's eyes are upon the sinful king. And he's looking at all the wicked works of Esau, Jacob, Amalek, Ishmael, all the wickedness is going on in this society right now, man. He's going to, and everybody's going to be judged, you know what I'm saying? According to their wickedness, man.
And then I'm gonna add on. We can't see it. We didn't see what those people did to deserve that judgment. But the Lord said, where was the righteous cut off, man?
Right.
Meaning, if there was righteous, that wouldn't have happened. Yeah, it says, he said also unto me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than they do.
Because what was happening in the ancient world, you had Jake bowing down to Tammuz and Semiramis, you know what I'm saying? Semiramis, you know what I'm saying? Idol worship, you know what I'm saying? The same thing that's going on right now, December 25th, Easter, New Year's, Father's Day, Mother's Day, all these different so-called pagan festivals that Esau set up, man. Jake followed these shits, man, wholeheartedly, man. And then you know what? Another thing, man. You got these women on the internet. They have shrimps, lobsters, crabs, and they know, certain of them know about the truth, but then they still do what they do. They define the words of the Most High. The Lord tell you can't eat shellfish and things, the voices of the sea. You can't eat that. And things that's abominable to them. But guess what? These women, and then you know what they do? They will put on the video of them eating. Then they start twerking their neck, like you know how these women do, in defiance of the Lord's word. You're gonna be judged for that, man. Yeah.
It says, then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz.
And the same thing we have going on right now, man. These women in these churches worshiping these different deities, but back then was Tammuz and Semiramis. And the same thing going on right now to this very day. You got these women, they was baking cakes for Tammuz, but now you have the same thing going on right now. They have these women, they worshiping Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, and these different pagan festivals that go back. Now Christmas, go back to the worship of Tammuz, man. Baking cakes, needed cakes, man. And we have that every year, but they don't care. That's why a lot of women's going to perish, man. And then you know what? You look at all these women, most of these women are on peace, and live unhealthy. Why? Because they eat crabs, shrimps, lobsters, octopus, and everything that's not meant for them to eat. Yeah, boy.
Then said he unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these.
What's the great abomination than these? These women commit abortions, man.
Yeah.
Murder. Which was back in the time of Manasseh, king of Israel. They was having their kids pass through the fire through Malak. But now you have these women committing adultery, man, committing murder, having abortions, man. These women, they don't care. You got these women, they have multiple kids by different men, and then the men that they, you know, when they out there having their fun, and they're just fucking and sucking, then damn shit, I got pregnant. Shit, I'm pregnant now. They go to the fucking abortion clinic and commit murder because they don't know they don't even know who the father is. Yeah, bro. That's just total wickedness, man.
Yep. It says, and he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house, and behold, at the door of the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, were above 25 men with their backs toward the temple of the Lord, and their faces toward the east, and they worshipped the sun toward the east.
And they was worshiping, that was sun worship, man. And the same thing going on right now with these different pastors, even men that know that they're Israel. They're not giving you the true doctrine, man. Read.
Then he said unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit and the abominations which they commit here?
Hey, man, these niggas commit all kind of abominations, man. They promote this goddamn doctrine of Esau where all men can be saved. They got a 501c3 charter. They sold out. They took that bag. They're not teaching the whole 100% doctrine of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah because they took that bag. So they take it. So they got that bag. So they teaching according to what Esau allowed them to teach. Read.
Add on. It's a spirit because both those shootings dealing with Jakes. The one in Buffalo was dealing with Judah. And then you had the other shooting was next to Mexico.
Dealing with Issachar.
Texas. Dealing with Ishkar, man. So that's the spirit, man. That might be prophetic, man. It's a thing that's gonna come to pass amongst the nation of Israel.
The Mossad.
Both the shooters were 18 years old too.
Yep.
And the Mossad put that out there, you know what I'm saying? They could be pansies, man.
And it says, Then he said unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abominations which they commit here?
And it's not a light thing that these Negroes, Hispanics, and Americans, they cling on to plantation Christianity. They cling on to this Christianity that don't profit them nothing. They're calling on Cesare Borgia or Serapis Christus, the so-called white man, which is an Edomite, and his God that he set up, and they're calling upon that, man. It's not going to profit them, man. So here we have you. We telling you the true names of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah, and you refuse to call upon them names because you are stuck on that plantation Christianity, and that's going to be your hurt, man. That's going to be your downfall.
For they have filled the land with violence, and have returned to provoke me to anger.
For Esau has filled the land with violence, and then you got these Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans that's not fully set to come back to the Mossad, that's following the ways of Esau, that's provoking the Mossad to anger.
Yep.
here you have it, man. These false deities that Esau is pushing out there, that Jake is worshiping. Jake is one you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. They're worshiping these different deities, man, that Esau's pushing, man. And it's not going to benefit you. It's going to lead you to your destruction. Yeah.
And lo, they put the branch to their nose. Therefore will I also deal in fury. Mine eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity.
And the Most High going to deal in fury, man. Restore to Jeremiah 15, verse 1 to 3. Ezekiel 21, verse 9, going down to 12. There's multiple scriptures describing how the Most High is going to bring forth his judgment. But you people have not a clue, man. But you still going to learn, man. You see what happened in Texas? You see what happened in Buffalo? There's going to be more shootings, more death and destruction that's going to come down the pipe, man.
Right.
Because the Lord is orchestrating everything. Deuteronomy 32, verse 39. Somebody get that real quick, man. Because Deuteronomy 32, verse 39, because you Negroes, especially the Americans, you do not understand the thoughts of the Most High. Isaiah 47, he said, I form the light, I create darkness. Is it 45?
Yeah, 45 and 7.
It's 45, right? Isaiah 45. I create. Yes, so bring it up.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I, am He.
This is the Most High talking. This is the Lord Yahweh, the Almighty, the King of the universe, the Lord of hosts. Read.
And there is no God with me.
Stop at the top.
See now that I, even I, am He. And there is no God with me.
And there's no power with me.
I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
This is the Most High saying that no God can deliver you out of his hand. Give Isaiah 44, verse 7.
Verse 40. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I whet my glittering sword and mine hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies.
And the Most High is going to render vengeance to his enemies, man. Who's the Lord's enemies? Psalms, the 83rd chapter, the first verse on down, man. The enemies of the Most High are these different nations, man, and the 2/3 that don't want to get right, man. So what you got right there?
44 and 7, right? So, I say 44 and 7.
I said 44 and 7, yeah. Read
It
that.
says, and who, as I shall call and shall declare it, and set it in order for me, since I appointed the ancient people.
What it says is 6.
Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, I am the first, and I am the last. I am the first, and I am the last, and beside me there is no God.
What it said in Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 32, verse 39. Read it again. Bible said, hold on. Read
The
it.
book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me.
There's no power with the Most High Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. Read.
I kill and I make alive.
Most High killeth and you make it alive, man. You understand that. And you comprehend it with the truth of the saying. Read.
I wound and I
The
heal.
Most High wounds and he healed, man. You had a dude that, some dude that got shot in that Buffalo massacre, and he survived it. The Most High wounded him and he healed him. See? Read.
Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
No one can deliver out of the Most High's hand. Read.
For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I whet my glittering sword and mine hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies.
And the Most High is going to render vengeance to all the Most High, to all his enemies, man. The 2/3, Esau, and the rest of the nations. Go back to that scripture, bro.
Go back to Isaiah.
Isaiah 44, yeah.
6, it says,
It's 6 here.
thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts. I am the first and I am the last, and beside me there is no God.
There's no power. So it's the Most High Yahweh Yahweh Shah, man. So I don't care what you bow down to. You bow down to Allah. You bow down to Buddha. You bow down to Churchway Bozier. Whatever you bow down to, there's no other power besides the Lord Yahweh, man. He is the only power, man. And beside him, there's no different. There's no deity, man. Read.
I read it again. It says, only shall I, it says, thus said the Most High, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, I am the first and I am the last, and beside me there is no power.
There is no power. The Most High is the first and the last, the Alpha, which is the beginning and the ending. And without him, there's no power, man. So therefore, all you nations, you're worshiping false gods, and then you got these Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans worshiping Chesapeake Bozier, which is plantation Christianity, which is white supremacy. That's not a god. You see? You got more?
I got something, man. Precept. Job chapter 4, verse 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent.
So you got these, hey, check it out. Read it again.
Job chapter 4, verse 7.
Read it slow so they can sing it to these slow apart Israelites, man. Read it slow.
Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent.
Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent. So now, you got that old hoe, Big Mama in Buffalo. The Big Mamas in Buffalo that got killed. Then you got the young kids that got killed in Texas. Whoever perished being innocent. And the Most High bring forth his judgment, man. Those are old spirits coming back in new bodies. And they receive their judgment, man. The Most High did that, man. Come on, man. The Lord did that, man. And once you acknowledge that, you know that the Most High ruled for the kingdom of men, man. Pursuant to Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. The Most High ruled for the kingdom of men.
Or where were the righteous cut off, even as I have seen they that plow iniquity.
Read it from the top of it.
Remember, I pray thee,
Remember, I pray thee.
whoever perished being innocent.
Whoever got put to death being innocent, them young kids, they wasn't innocent. They was young in this life right here that we living in. But you got to deal with on the spiritual aspect. Them old spirits is coming back to receive their judgment. And that's what happened. Whoever perished being innocent, aware where the Most High have the righteous baking bread. Bring it up, boy.
Or where were the righteous cut off, even as I have seen they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same.
The Most High said that those that plow iniquity and reap wickedness, they get the same thing. They get the same
And
judgment.
sow
man.
wickedness.
And so wickedness, you reap the same thing, man. You reap the same thing, man. And so the Most High don't play games with you people, man. What happened to them little kids in Texas? They was 10, 11, 12 years old. Everybody's mourning, oh, they was young and they was innocent. No. They was young and innocent in this life, but without their previous life, man. What the fuck they did that the Most High judged them? Right. The Most High killed them for making them alive, man. Y'all don't have no clue. Read, bro.
Verse 9, by the blast of the Most High, they perish.
By the blast of the Most High, they perish, man. Wow. Read it again, bro. Read it again, bro.
This is the book of Job, chapter 4, verse 9.
Damn.
By the blast of the Most High, they perish.
By the blast of the Most High, they perish. Do you understand that? Are you comprehending what the scriptures are saying? You slow of heart, man. You getting emotional because some 20 kids got killed in Texas. The Most High killed them, man.
By the blast of the Most High they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed.
By the breath of his nostrils they are consumed. Now guess what? All them people, and then guess what? You had some man grieving for his wife to the point where he gave it the spirit.
Damn.
And it showed that in the video, his wife died. They was married for 25 years, and he was mourning her to the point whereas he had a heart attack and died 2 days after she died, man. That was the Most High judgment, man. The Most High judged him too, man. Anybody got something else?
I got something. You'll have.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance.
There be spirits that's created for vengeance. You see what happened in Texas? You see what happened in Buffalo? Those are spirits created for vengeance. To fuck you wicked people up, man. The Most High did that, man. Them angels, those was death angels that was out there that was doing the Lord's bidding. Read it again, Bible Kashab, bro.
Ecclesiasticus 39, 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes.
Which in their fury lay on sore strokes. Now here we have it. The Most High Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai have no respect of persons. Old people in Buffalo, young children in Texas, the Most High have no respect of persons, man. The Most High will fuck you up, man.
And I prove that point when you go into the scriptures and you read about Elisha, when you had them kids that came and started getting on him for having the bull head, he cursed them, and the Lord had 2 sheepheads come out
and fucked them up.
Fucked them up, man. Killed 40 of them. 40 kids dead.
Dead.
For running their fucking mouth.
And mocking the prophet, man.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on to this day. You got these Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans mocking the prophets, man. A lot of you people gonna die, man. The Most High gonna kill a lot of you people, man. He ain't gonna have no mercy. You see what happened in Texas, right? You see what happened over there in what was that, in Texas, and then over was that place with it?
Texas and then Buffalo.
In Buffalo, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, man?
Buffalo, New York.
Buff. Yeah, bro, you got more?
I'm finished off. It says, I'll read it again. Ecclesiasticus 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of death and destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
Because them spirits that's created for vengeance, what the Most High does is he tell them before he go up, the angel sent forth to do what they do and kill this dude in this fashion. Now, on my job, this woman that I knew, Sunday, she always rode bikes. Sunday, she was off, she worked from Sunday to fucking Wednesday. So, no, actually Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All right, she worked from, check it out. Let me just get it right. She worked from Sunday, she's off, she worked from Wednesday to Sunday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. She's off
Monday, Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday.
Right.
So now, Sunday, I'm driving home and she's doing a wheelie. I'm like, yo, be careful. And I know what I'm doing, my nigga. Now, Sunday night, she get into an accident. They was going to the Great Lakes, 100 women. They was going to the Great Lakes. Guess what? The Most High judged them. The bitch lost her leg and bled out. And she dead, man.
Yeah.
She died Sunday. She's
Yeah.
dead.
Judgment. Not the Lord.
The Most High judges, man. You see what I'm saying? You see? And I told her, be careful. Them bikes are dangerous. I know what I'm doing, my nigga. I said you Wednesday. No, you can see me Wednesday.
Well, Bill, you said right, yo. Damn.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That bitch is fucking dead right now, man. And she had 2 kids. And her family is mourning. And today, tomorrow makes 7 days, which is Sunday. Now they got a GoFundMe page. Yeah, bro. That's it.
I'll finish it off. It says, verse 30. Ecclesiastes 39:30. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword.
Read it from the top again,
All right. It says, verse 28. Ecclesiastes 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance.
bro. Now those spirits are these angels, but the Most High also put spirits in these different wild beasts to do his work, man. When you see somebody getting mowed down by a pit bull, getting trampled by an elephant, or getting mowed down by a lion, those are teeth of wild beasts. The Most High put that spirit on that animal to do what he did, man. You know? Read.
Okay. It says, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
So when you see these animals doing what they doing, and that's tearing and shredding these people up, and the Most High put that spirit on the animal to do something, there be spirits created for vengeance. Not only animals, but also people.
Yeah.
The Most High will put his spirit on the people to do his thing too, man. You know? So, hey, spirits of vengeance is out here, man. That's why we gotta stay praying up, man.
Fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance.
Fire. Hey, here it is. You can have a electrical fire in your house, man. You chilling, electrical fire happened, you fin the wars, you sleeping, the Most High put a deep sleep on you. And you perish in that flames, man. You see what I'm saying, man? The Most High could do that, man. When you don't wake up and he created electrical fire within the walls of your house, and then you sleeping, he put a deep sleep on you, and you perish in the flames. And that's how that is, man. The Most High is dreadful, man. And it's greatly to be feared, man. And that's enough.
It says, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
Teeth of wild beasts, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction, man. Who was the wicked? Esau, the so-called white man. Also Esau the so-called white man. Also the 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, and Americans that like to gang bang, commit adultery, sell drugs, and do what you want to do, man. You know? You got more?
It says, they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is.
Those are angels, man. That's ready to do the bidding of the Most High, man. Those spirits that's created for vengeance. And that's when you see a lot of death and destruction out there. The Most High is creating these things to come to pass, man. You people thinking that the Most High have no control of what Satan is doing? The Most High controls Satan, man. Hey, Satan and the Most High is fighting against each other. That's bullshit, man. The Most High controls Satan, man. What you see going on is orchestrated by the Most High and it's sanctioned by the Most High. Yahweh, why Yahweh shot? You understand and you comprehend it. You dumb fucks. Read, man.
And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word.
And the Most High and these angels that sent forth to do the Most High's bidding, they're not going to transgress his word. They're going to do his bidding, man. Whatever the Most High sent them to do, they're going to do it. They're going to accomplish it. And they're going to take pleasure in doing it. See what I'm saying?
That was on that.
I got to take a piss. Go ahead.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. All the sinners of my people, 2/3 of our people, think that the Most High isn't going to bring judgment upon them. that they're going to continue doing whatever they want to do, continue committing iniquity, which is sin upon sin. Okay, they think that the Most High is not going to bring judgment upon them. Well, 2/3 are already predestined for death and destruction, you know? 2/3 are being judged every day, man. You know? 2/3 are going to die by the sword. Okay, they're going to die in these last days, man. Whether it's during Jacob's trouble or through the through World War III when America is destroyed by fire. All right? That's it, bro.
All right. Jeremiah 2 and 26. It says, "As a thief is ashamed when he is found, so is the house of Israel ashamed. They, their kings, their princes, and their priests, and their prophets, saying to a stock, Thou art my father, and to the stone, Thou hast brought me forth."
Yeah, you got our people praying to idols, man. You know, worshiping these false gods, man. And the first commandment is, "Thou shalt not have no other, God before me." You know, we shouldn't be worshiping no other gods, man. But 2/3 of our people are idol worshipers, man. And according to the scriptures, we understand that the Most High is a jealous power. Okay, but 2/3 of our people are worshiping, Caesar Borgia, which really is Serapis Christmas. They're worshiping these false idols, man. They're into these different religions. Okay, they're into Santeria, Brujeria, Voodoo. Idol worship, man. Satan worship. And they're the dead. It's wickedness, man.
Yeah, I found out about that one. I ain't really know about Day of the Dead. I found out about just watching the movie when North Kingdom, they worship St. Paul, the Day of the Dead.
Yeah, I think that's Issachar, right?
Issachar.
Yeah, mainly Issachar, but there's North Kingdom too. So mainly Issachar,
Yeah.
That's wicked, man. We shouldn't be worshiping these false idols, man. They're not going to deliver us in these last days, man. When all hell breaks loose, who you going to call upon? 2/3 of our people don't know the names of Yahweh Shemel Shai. They don't consider the ways of Yahweh Shemel Shai. So the Most High is not going to protect them, not going to shield them in these last days. That's why they dropped them dead. That's why those children died up in Texas. That's why those people got blasted in upstate New York, right? Because they're not being protected, man.
saying to a stock, Thou art my father, and to a stone, Thou hast brought me forth. For they have turned their back unto me, and not their face. But in the time of their trouble, they will say, Arise and save us.
Yeah, man. That's how Jake is, man. You tribes, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, when all hell breaks loose, that's when you want to call on the God. Well, you don't even know the names. You don't even call upon Yahweh Shemel Shai. So when you call upon God, who are you really calling upon? When you call upon the Lord, you know who they thinking about. They're not thinking about the God of Israel, the God of the Bible, right? So when all hell breaks loose, when Jacob's trouble pops off, who are you going to call upon? Okay, who's going to save you? Who's going to deliver you in these last days? Not these false idols. These false idols ain't real. These false gods ain't real. They can't protect you.
It says, but where are thy gods that thou hast made thee?
Yeah, you got our people, worshiping these images. They got worshiping these different saints, like amongst the land tribes. They worship all these Edomite saints and stuff, they worship Caesar Borgia,
The sun.
the moon.
When you go to the so-called church, it's mostly on a Sunday because they worship the sun.
Yeah, man. So when all hell breaks loose, who's gonna protect you, man? Your false idols is gonna protect you? Okay? No.
It says, let them arise if they can save thee in the time of thy trouble.
Yeah, when you're starving, when you and your family are starving and you haven't eaten in a couple of days, who's gonna feed you? Them false gods are gonna feed you? When there's cannibalism popping off out here, and you're seeking refuge, who's gonna be your refuge in that day? Okay? When there's pestilences out here and people are dropping dead, there's natural disasters out here, who's going to protect you, man? These false gods can't protect you. They ain't real. There's only one true power, and that's Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai.
That's right.
It says, for according to the number of thy cities are thy gods, O Judah. God damn. So that means you got Jake out here praying every day under the sun, except Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai. So when all hell break loose, the Lord's saying, go ahead and pray to your car. You know, pray to your house. Pray to your damn that damn Christmas tree, man. You know, go over your church and pray to them idols. Pray to Caesar Borgias. They got Caesar Borgias tattoo on their forehead, on their chest. Caesar Borgia on their fridge door. Caesar Borgia over their headboard, around their neck. The Jesus piece.
You know what? A lot of things, right? It's due to my job. He take pleasure. He got 2 pieces, one small, one big. He said, I paid $1,500 for the Jesus piece, $1,000 for the Jesus piece. You know? And I'm saying, I'm looking at him like, okay, so you paying for idols? What you doing? Well, I'm looking at him, he don't know. He thinking he's doing something prolific. He got 2 big ass Jesus pieces with diamonds running in, spend all this money. That's an idol. It's a fucking idol. That's right, man. It's not gonna profit you, man.
The shit ain't gonna save you. All right. Probably got ripped off, more than likely, and that shit gonna melt away along with the rest of this place, man. You know, nuclear missiles. All right, so it melts around your neck, and you. Okay.
I got a precept for you, bro. This is Wisdom of Solomon 14. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14, verse 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication. Right, so it says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication. Right, what's spiritual fornication? What's fornication? Dealing with another man, you already got a man. Alright, Israel is likened unto a woman, Moses' woman. Alright, we're married onto Yahweh Yahushua. Alright, but the moment we start putting another deity before him, that's like a woman committing adultery or fornication, because fornication is adultery. It says, and the invention of them, the corruption of life. So that's really what brings in death, sin, all that. Worshipping other deities, man. You know, because Israel was putting other gods before the Most High, so the Most High says, you love these nations, God, so much, I'm going to let you serve these nations. And that's what's happening, man. You know?
That's what happened. Right back.
This is Isaiah chapter 65, verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry.
Hey, the Most High saying the servant shall eat. Who's the servants of the Most High? Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai's servants started with the elect. The servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Who's going to be hungry? The 2/3 out here, man. You see a famine coming. These prophecies are coming to pass, man. We see these prophecies coming to pass on a large scale, man. See, and we telling you, whether you were here, whether you were forbear pursuant to Ezekiel 3:17, we telling you, man, what's coming down the pipe, man. We telling you, man. But 2/3 are one ahead. So guess what? You're going to fall by the sword, man. Yeah, bro.
But ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty.
Hey, the Lord's saying, behold, his servants, which are the apostles, the prophets, the men of the Lord, that's out here, the helpers in the Bible, is doing that which is right in the eyes of the Most High. He's going to eat and drink. But the 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Americans, men and you women, you're going to be a fool, and you're going to thirst. You're going to be hungry.
Behold, my servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty.
But you're going to be thirsty. The 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Americans, men and you women, man, you're going to be fucking thirsty, destitute, and fucked up, man.
Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
Hey, the servants of the Most High, Yahweh, start with the elect, on down to its prophet, all the men of the Most High is going to rejoice, man. But the men that's a part of the society, Esau society, they're going to be fucking mourning, in anguish, starving. And that's how the Lord set it up, man.
Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart.
The Lord said his servants, which are his prophets, start with the apostles going down, is going to rejoice with joy of heart. But the men that's in the society, that's a part of this world, they're going to be in pain and anguish, man. They're going to be fucking soft in the time when Jacob's trouble begins, man. Pursuant to Deuteronomy, pursuant to Jeremiah 30:7, Jacob's trouble. Because the Most High set things up accordingly to how he wants things to go, man. So everything's gonna go according to prophecy. And 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're done. You're gonna fall by the sword, man. You're gonna bow down to the slaughter. Women and men and young children. What you saw in Texas, man. There's gonna be more of that, man. The Most High did that. The Most High did that, man. So, me knowing the Lord and how the Lord deals, I didn't get emotional. Hey, you know what? Guess what? At first, when I first saw it, I was, seeing things, and I was like, damn, they can call them then, but guess what? The Spirit kicked in. The Most High did that, man. 1 Samuel 2:6, Deuteronomy 32, verse 39, so forth and so on, man. The Most High does that, man. So I'm going to get emotional because the Most High is bringing forth his judgment. No. I'm going to prophesy and bring forth the Most High's judgment and let you know what the Most High is planning to do through the scriptures, man. Whether you will hear, whether you will forbear, pursuant to Ezekiel 3:17. I'm going to tell you what's coming down the pipe, man. I'm not going to get emotional. I'm going to tell you what the Most High is doing. What happened with them kids, them 18 kids in Texas, the Most High did that, man. You know why? Because they was not innocent. Job 4:7, I pray to whoever perished being innocent. Those is old souls that did wickedness in their previous life, but the Most High required that which was past. In the third and the fourth generation, the Most High required that, man. So you cannot be all messed up in the head because the Most High judged them kids, man. You don't know what the Most High had. Your mind is not the Most High's mind. I don't know what them kids did. They was young now. They was in their teens, 10, 11, 9, 8, 7. But how the fuck I know what they did in their previous life? But the Lord knows, that's why he judged them. Bottom line, I'm not questioning the Lord. I know the Lord. The Most High brought forth his judgment, and therefore, I'm just going to tell you what happened the Most High did. And the Most High fucked them little kids up. And there's more judgment coming. Just like that. You got something?
Yeah, God. Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince was standing for the children of thy people.
And then the time when Esau is bringing forth his whole fury, the Most High is going to have Michael the archangel stand up to deliver the 1/3, the elect, man. Whereas they're not gonna have to go through what the rest of the people have gone through, man. The Lord's gonna deliver his people through Michael the archangel, man. Pursuant to Daniel 12:1, man.
It says, for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was there was a nation.
Hey, man, talking about Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30:7. 2nd Ezra 15, the 15th chapter, 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. 2nd Ezra, 5:1. Whereas a bunch of people are going to be caught up in a great number, man. And the way of truth is going to be hidden, man. And we're living in that time right now, man. You see what I'm saying? 2nd Ezra, chapter 5, verse 1. Somebody get that real quick, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know you're talking about that school shooting? Well, one of the women that got killed,
Yeah.
so her husband, and when the husband heard the news, he put a heart attack.
Yeah, cut.
Oh, he just
Yeah,
put
cut.
that's
He scored a heart attack, you know what I'm saying? And died. You know what I'm saying? That was judgment of the Most High, man. So now, they was celebrating their 25th anniversary. I heard about that. But now, they got 4 grown children. They lost their parents for 2 days, man. That was judgment of the Lord, man.
damn.
You don't consider
These things.
what's going on, man? You people have not a clue. You're still the one to wake up. The Lord was considered the ancient word as Allah Shaja. Allah means he demon-like power, man. You don't want to consider that? The Lord is dreadful, man. What's going on is orchestrated by the Lord, man. The Lord killeth and maketh alive, man. Deuteronomy 32, verse 39, man. 1 Samuel 2:6. You don't want to understand that? You don't want to take heed that the Most High is in control of everything? And even tell you in Samuel that the Most High took the righteous spirit from the soul and put an evil spirit on him. So the Most High could put an evil spirit on you, man. He could put a righteous spirit on you. We out in the highways and the byways, prophesying the truth. Then he could take that righteous spirit from you and put an evil spirit on you, man. And that's scary.
Scary.
Yes, I know.
It says, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
Hey, because you know what? In the time of Jacob's trouble, 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're going to perish by the sword. You're going to perish by famine. You're going to perish by being in these concentration camps. But the remnant, the elect, is going to be saved, man, and delivered out of all the trials and tribulations that's coming upon the earth. The elect, only the elect.
I got you with 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens,
The tokens are signs. Read.
behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number.
Behold, days have come that they that dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number. Who is they? It's going to be taken in a great number. First and foremost, so are the 2/3, man. And then the rest of the nations, man. Because we only concerned about the 2/3, man. We're only concerned about the house of Israel. But the 2/3 is going to be taken in a great number. Read.
And the way of truth shall be hidden.
And the way of truth shall be hidden. Hey, the way of truth is hidden, man. Only the elect has this truth. Even though this truth is published throughout the 4 corners of the earth via through the internet, man. But the elect is going to get it. But the 2/3, they may run across it, a video on YouTube, and they're going to scoff and scoff, man. So the way of truth is hidden. It's hidden from them. Read.
I got a quick precept for you. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
But if our gospel that we preach from the start of the apostle to all down is hid from the 2/3. Read.
But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
It is hid to them that are lost, man. It is hid to them that the Most High that the Most High X out, that they ain't won. The 2/3, man. So this gospel only gonna be hid to the 2/3, man. Because it's plain, it's simple, it's easy to understand this gospel. Only if the Most High allow them angels to open your mind to receive the Holy Spirit, which is this gospel, you know what I'm saying? But if you can't receive it, it's because the Most High blinded you, man. Straight and simple. This is a spiritual thing. Yeah.
Verse 4, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds
Who
of
was the
them.
God of this world, man? Esau, the so-called white man. Then was saying because, you know, Esau is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan in this society we live in, man. So how can the God of this world blind you? Do his physical counterpart, which is Esau, the so-called white man. With his plantation Christianity, we see wacky-tacky Christians, hold dear to them. And then you got the other sect that choose to wanna sell out because they tired of being broke. So you got the music industry, you got the music industry, you got the film industry, which is Hollywood. Then you got the boxing industry, you got the sports world. All these people took that back, man, one way or the other, because you're not gonna receive all kind of riches, and you didn't sell out, man, in the society. Read.
In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine onto them.
And that's what happened to the elect. The rest of the men that's out here, they're not gonna receive it. That's it. That's it, man. That's it. Read.
This is back in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 5, verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the token, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number.
I tell you, it says, behold, read it again from the top.
Nevertheless, as
concerning the token, which means signs,
behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number.
and that's talking about the 2/3, man. They that shall dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number. If you go to 2nd Ezra 9:1, it tells you, measure the time diligent in itself, man. So once you measure the time diligent in itself, man, and you know what's coming to pass, that can be taken in that great number. But 2/3, so read that again.
Behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number.
And that's the 2/3, man. And even Israelites that know they're Israel, that's pushing a foreign doctrine, contrary to what Yahweh Shah has preached, man, they're going to be taken in a great number.
And the way of truth shall be hidden.
And we see what's going on right now in the society right now, man. We live in Babylon. The way of truth is hidden. The way of the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Lord Yahweh Shah is how holy days is hidden, man. Now Monday is a Memorial Day. Some kind of how holy day Esau set up, man. So the way of truth is hidden, man. And what niggas is gonna do on this high holy day, Memorial Day, I guarantee you're gonna have niggas out there barbecuing and barbecuing and celebrating Memorial Day, which is a pagan, festival, man. Read. The way of truth is hidden, man. The truth is the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shah, man. But the way of truth is hidden. And that's why it says in 2nd Ezra 8:50, many great mysteries are going to come upon you, Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because why? You have chosen the way of Esau over the Lord Yahweh Shah, man. You want to learn the ways of Esau, and you don't want to learn the ways of the Lord Yahweh Shah, man. And that's been going on since the ancient one, man.
And the land shall be barren of faith.
And there's no faith in this land, man. Everybody's doing what they want. Do as thou wilt. Which is YOLO. You only live once, do as thou wilt, man. The sword to Honest Crowley, his doctrine, and he pushed forth, man. And who's pushing forth that doctrine? These rappers, man. Do as thou wilt, man. YOLO, you only live once, man. And that's bullshit, man. Read. Them souls that died them 18 souls that died in that goddamn Texas shooting, they was old souls, ancient souls that go back to the ancient world. I don't know what the fuck they did, and they where the Most High required their spirit. The Lord knows though. The Lord will do nothing without a purpose, man. Look, this it say, I pray thee.
Since you said that, bro, this is Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says to everything there's a purpose and a time to every purpose. It's like to everything there is a season.
For everything there's a season,
and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
And a time for every purpose under the heaven. The Most High did that because he wanted to do that because them 18 children plus them 2 teachers, they was wicked as fuck, man. They didn't probably do that in this life, but how about their previous life, man? The Most High required that was his past, man. Even to Esau. And that's what Esau's gonna pay for what he did to the sons of Israel. He gonna be a perpetual slave in the kingdom. You gotta pay, man. Nobody escapes unpunished, man. I don't give a fuck who you are, man. Read that again, Bible for Shadow.
There's more. It says, Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
The Most High has a time and a purpose under the heaven. The Most High, there's a time when the Most High is going to judge you, and the Most High, there's a time when the Most High is going to allow things to go on. But now we're in the time of judgment, and the Most High is judging these different nations, right along with the 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Why? Because it's so until 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 7, the Most High is visiting the world, which he, what is that? No, slack it. 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1, the Most High is visiting the world which he made, man. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob, that was followed, man. It's so until 2nd Ezra 16, the 6th chapter, the 7th, the 7th verse on down, man. Read.
It says a time to be born and a time to die.
It's a time to be born, there's a time to die. Right now, these different spirits that's being born in a society, they're only being born for their judgment. Man. So they're young, but guess what? The Most High is going to judge them. There's a time to be born and a time to die. So all these women that's having these babies, and then you have these women that's talking about aborting babies, that's also judgment. Because once these babies are created in the womb, the Most High ordained them to be aborted, and that's that right there, man. They go back to the spirit world. They in the womb, and they go back to the spirit world before they didn't get a chance to be born. They in the womb, back to the spirit world. Because why these women, these wicked ass women, are aborting these babies on a high rate, man. But guess what? They're gonna be judged for that because that's murder, man. That's why the Most High is gonna kill a lot of you women, man. A lot of you women is gonna die. You're gonna bow down to the slaughter, man. You're gonna bow down to the slaughter. But soon to Jeremiah 15, verse 1 to 3, you're gonna bow down to the slaughter. You understand? Are you comprehending? You're gonna bow down to the slaughter. Read.
You know, real quick, there was a story a couple months ago of this family in a helicopter, and the helicopter crashed. Everybody survived. Baby, all that shit crashed.
Wow.
And there's stories of, Bilal told me personally, one of the dudes told me niggas had him like that, had the gun to his head, the gun jammed. So the Most High could have said the gun jam on him or bullet ricochet back at him and spared all those lives. But the Most High specifically wanted those kids to die, man. The ones that got hit up under. You know what I'm saying? Everyone that was meant to be hit, that was set up before the world even began. You feel me?
That's right. That's right.
You know? It says
Destiny.
a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal.
Hey man, the Most High killing for making for life, man.
Right.
So you see what's going on with these different mass shootings. The Most High did that, man.
Right.
It's the time to kill it for the time to make it for life, man. The Most High is doing this, man. There's no respect of persons to the Most High, man. The Lord is doing these things, man. Got more?
Yeah, come on, brother. It says a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a A time to break down and a time to build up.
You see, like I said, I'm gonna say it again. The Buffalo shooting, the Most High did that,
Oh
man.
yeah, the wicked is my sword.
The Most High dealt with them people accordingly, man. Just because it was an old hoe, you had old hoes that got killed, Ezekiel 94, old hoes, and then you had the young kids that got killed over in Texas. The Most High did that, man. Everything is orchestrated of the Lord, man. Everything is of the Lord, man. You can't take nothing. You can't take nothing for granted. The Most High controls everything in His society. This is the Most High's movie. Can you understand that? Are you comprehending that? If I walk across the street and I get hit by a car, the Most High did that to me, man.
I got something real quick, brother. Isaiah 58:5-8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts.
So the Most High's thoughts, not your thoughts. You want to, why the Lord would allow an 8-year-old kid to get killed, or a 7-year-old kid to get gunned down? Because your thoughts are not the Most High thoughts. Because you know why? That old fucking that young kid has an old soul, and that old soul did so much wickedness and he walked this earth so many times, so the Most High is requiring that was his past. That's because, so now, the old soul went to the spirit world, and the old soul got a judgment brought forth to him. Listen, when you 9 years old, you will get shot down. And that's it. That's your judgment. So, you live out your judgment. Through procreation, you get born back in the flesh again, reincarnate, being back in the flesh, and you got a new body, but that old soul, that's an old soul you have. Them young kids have old souls. You have to understand the scriptures. Them old souls, them kids, them young kids that they had new bodies, but they had old spirits. So the old spirit was required. The Most High required the old spirit. The Most High told that old spirit what's going to happen to him. You're going to be born in a new body, and at the age of 10, at the age of 7, at the age of 11, at the age of 12, at the age of 9, at the age of 10, you're going to get gunned down. And that's going to be your judgment. Bottom line, the Most High dealeth in the kingdom of men. Deuteronomy 32 verse 39. Let that sink in. Get that again? Because they can't, you gotta let it sink in. You gotta read it slow so it can sink in to the people's head that them young kids that perished and them old hoes that perished in Buffalo, the Most High did that. Bitch 85 years old. Oh, she was an old woman. Oh, she was an old woman. What the fuck she did when she was in her 20s? When she was in her 30s. Just because she's an old hoe doesn't mean she's innocent. She committed all kind of wickedness in her life. The Most High chose to judge her when she was 86. Judgment of the Lord, man. So here it is, she's 86. She's innocent? She's an old hoe? She's an old woman. No, she wasn't innocent. The Most High judged her. The son she did in this life or the previous life, man. She's 86. God knows, only the Lord knows the manner of wickedness she did in her life, man. She was once a young woman, vibrant. Now she's 86. She died in the fucking Tops supermarkets. Nah, the Most High ordained that to happen to her. Okay, you're gonna commit all kind of wickedness. Then when you were 86, you're gonna be in the supermarket and I'm gonna put you to death. So have your fun. You committed 4 or 5 or 10 adults or 10 abortions. You committed adultery multiple times in your life. Then you decide to get married because you old. You're getting older. You're in your 40s. So now you with somebody for 40 years. So now you're 86. Your husband is in a goddamn home for dementia. He's being judged for his wickedness. Now you leave him and you go to the supermarket to pick up some groceries, and the Most High have you get put to death by some young Edomite cracker that hate niggas. See how the Most High deal? Everything is of the Lord, man. Deuteronomy 32 verse 39, and you people are gonna learn that. Second Ezra, no. Matter of fact, go to Ezra. Ezekiel 21 verse 9, Jeremiah 15 verse 1, Second Ezra 15 verse, the whole chapter, and 16, the whole chapter. You're gonna learn that shit, man. The Most High deals, man. That's why that old hoe got killed, man, 86 years old. That deacon that was playing the piano in a church.
Right.
The Most High dealt justly with him by putting him to death, man. Read, that's it, no?
Let me finish this up. It's Isaiah 55:8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord.
So you dealing, you in these planting some Christian churches, thinking you're doing the work of the Most High, bowing down to Chesapeake bullshit, aka some rappers Christians. That's the ways of this world. But your ways is not the ways of the Most High. The ways of the Most High goes back to Yahweh Shah, man. And you bowing down to false deities. That's why the Most High has you bowing down to false deities. The Most High have you bow down to the slaughter. You understand me? Are you comprehending what the scriptures are saying? You bowing down to the slaughter, the sword to Ezekiel chapter 21 verse 9. You bow down to the slaughter. You bow down to these different idols. You bow down to the slaughter. How you like that?
I'm gonna read verse 9, but before I read that, you gotta see these mass shooters like Peyton and the nigga out there in Texas. That's no different than a tornado or a hurricane. It's just a spirit of vengeance. You know, you can't get mad at the hurricane and curse it out. It's just doing what it's meant to do. So these guys, the spirit get on them to mow down and shit. We understand it. Like our emotions, we're just sad. Okay, that's just another spirit of vengeance, you know? Like we got this guy in the comic books, his name is Galactus, right? Eater of worlds. He's not good or bad. He's just hungry. He eats fucking planets, but when he destroys a planet, new planets are created. So that's how these spirits work. They're just doing the work of the Lord, issuing out judgment, man. You can't get in your feelings about it. You just gotta pray that judgment don't come on your ass.
And that's a crazy thing. That's a scary thing. You see these judgments coming to pass. You gotta pray to the Lord. You gotta stay prayed up, and you gotta do it that which is right in the eyes of the Most High, so judgment won't come upon you.
So quick. It says, verse 9, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways.
So as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are the Most High ways higher than these wicked ass people on the earth. Think about why that happened. Why did the Most High allow them? Why did all these people get killed? Them old hoes get killed, going to tops. Why did them young kids get killed? Because your ways are not the Most High ways. The Most High deal with spirits. There are spirits created for vengeance. Now, guess what? All them spirits that the Most High destroyed, they lived and they did wickedness in their previous life. The Most High is judging them, man. I don't know what they did, but guess what? I know that reincarnation exists, and all them spirits that got put to death, them old hoes and them young kids, pursuant to Ezekiel 9:4. Hey, that's a spirit, man. That's a prophecy, man. Slick utterly old and young. Now, them old hoes in Buffalo, and them young children in Texas, man. That was judgment of the Most High. Consider that. Analyze that. Think about that. Ponder on that, man. The Most High did that, man. The Most High, why Yahweh Shah did that? Why? Because the Most High required that which was passed. Visiting the iniquity of the children from the third and fourth generation. So now here it is. You got them young kids coming back in their third and fourth generation, and they receiving their judgment, man. The Most High is just in all his ways, man. Analyze that. acknowledge that and accept that. Because the Most High did that to them, man. And there's no other way around that, man. You got something else?
A little bit more. It says, and my thoughts, so I can read that again. So are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
See, when you acknowledge that the Most High is in control of everything, the Most High ways is higher than your ways. So you would consider, why would the Lord allow old people to get killed? 86-year-old women, 76-year-old women, 73-year-old women. Why would the Lord allow these people to get killed? Because they did shit in their life that you don't know, that the Most High knew. If not in this life, but in their previous life. So the Most High is judging them, man. For the Most High ways is higher than your ways, you mortal man. You weak man. The Most High knows. All these spirits going back to the ancient world. There's no spirit that's new. All these spirits that we see, even me, this brother here, this brother there behind the camera, all ancient spirits, man. And we coming back in our lot, man. We coming back in our lot, man. Some to defend the gospel, some to defend the gospel, some to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom we living in. But we all on the same page, man. Those is a part of the elect. We're doing that which we was compelled to do in the ancient world. We're coming back in our lot, man. So everybody that's coming back in their lot, you gotta understand something. It's something called reincarnation. Re being back and calling me back in the flesh. So every soul is being brought back in their state. So the prophets that was back in the ancient world are back now prophesizing against kings and nations, and they tell you that in the scriptures, man. So then you have the prophets coming back in, then you have the men that was false prophets that took that bag that was in the time of the ancient world, then the time of the Romans, that sold out to the Romans, they sold out to the modern day Romans, man. Taking that bag through the 501c3 chart. The same spirits coming back, man. You got the righteous spirits, the true prophets of the Most High, that's not going to bow down to the needs of Baal, the 7,000 prophets, which means a completion of men. And then you have the men that sold out, and you have the men that's taking that, that how can I say it? They took that back. You know what I'm saying? You got something?
I got some. Oh, you read about it?
Bring it out.
All right. This is Proverbs 24 and 23. These things also belong to the wise. It is not good to have respect of persons in judgment.
You can't respect the person in judgment, man. You got to do accordingly, man. There's no respect of person with the Most High, Yahweh, Yahweh Shah. So therefore, we should not have no respect of person, man, in judgment, man. You see a person going off, man, you rebuke that motherfucker, man. He going off in the scriptures, you rebuke him, man. If he's going off, man, he's teaching a doctrine contrary to what they learned. Going back to our forefathers, man, you rebuke that dude, man.
But another thing too is like, when the Lord is issuing out His judgment, you can't be like, oh, that's sad, that's a little kid, or that old person deserve it. What did they do? That's having respect for persons. When the Most High decides to judge somebody viciously, have you get mowed down by a transgender to shame you, well, look, man, that's the judgment of the Lord.
That's the transgender that did it. That's the transgender.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look, man, and people don't understand judgment like that, because those souls that died in the womb, that got aborted, or the little kids that got shot, that was really mercy. Because what's to come, you don't want to fucking go through, man. Jacob's trouble, we just read about it. Matter of fact, in Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter, go ahead and speak. I'm going to go get it. Let me get it.
Because we know that judgment comes from the Most High. So all these people that are receiving their judgment is coming from the Most High. And you cannot gainsay it, or you cannot refute it, because we can go into the scriptures to show you how the Most High deals, man.
This is Ecclesiastes 4 and 3. Yea, better is he than both they which have not yet been, who have not seen the evil work that is done under the sun.
Wow.
Yea, better is he than both they which have not yet been.
Better is he than both they that has not been yet. Meaning a person that has not been born in this wickedness society. They didn't receive, they don't see the wickedness, man. So better is they, man. There has been
stillborn babies, the aborted, they never came out.
But
They didn't have to go through the judgment.
But that was their judgment to do that. Because the Most High controls everything, man. The Most High put the spirit on the woman to go to these Planned Parenthoods to abort that child, man. So their judgment was to be in the womb and to die before you come out of the womb. That was their judgment through Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, but the thing is this, brother. Once you're under the sun, this is judgment. Whether you live out a life or you perish in the womb, you're still judged. We right now are being judged. We're under the sun. We're on the earth. King Solomon is a man that had everything. He's saying they're better off than those that live out under this bullshit, that live in this wicked world. And there's prophets that said that before. Why did I perish in the womb? It's better if I was a stillborn. Why? Because they understand this is the place of judgment. The only reason we're here is because of this word. That's it. This is to teach the word of the Lord. Ecclesiastes 12 chapter 13 verse. You know? But because I had that situation happen. My brother showed me the scripture and I thought about it like it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because why raise a child in this wicked ass shit? It was better that his spirit really just, I took it up that way. He didn't see anything, right back up in there. That person right there. No, but you can't be really emotional about this shit, right?
Right.
All right, go ahead. I got you, bro. Read it down. Oh, go ahead, bro. Let me read this. It says Ecclesiastes 4:3. Yea, better is he than both they which have not yet been, who have not seen the evil work that is done under the sun.
Like you were going into, it's better. Those people that didn't make it, that they got aborted, they got murdered, they're better off in the spirit realm than being here on earth. Here to suffer, because that's what we're here to go through, mainly to suffer. We're here suffering, man. So it's better, that they get aborted, get murdered,
That's all shit for people to wrap their mind around, bro.
It sounds crazy, bro.
It's true, but it's true, bro. It says this is Job 33:7 concerning the spiritual world. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest.
Wow, in the spirit world, there's no troubles there. There's no you chilling. You're just waiting to come back on earth. You're in the spirit realm. You're at rest. Okay? Because listen, man, this is not our kingdom, right? You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans need to understand that we're in the land of our captivity. Okay? It's not going to be easy for us here. We're not supposed to be striving to make it in this society. The scripture says, for hear the conclusion of the whole matter, for this is the whole duty of man. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments. Okay? Roughly paraphrasing. Okay? That's our job here on earth. Okay? So we're gonna suffer. And those of our people that didn't make it because they got aborted, they got murdered, they got sent back to the spirit realm, they're at rest. They're at rest, man. Our people think that we're here to be comfortable. Okay, that this is our rest. But 2/3 of our people, okay, are going to be hit with a rude awakening. Okay, Jacob's trouble was nigh. All right, Jacob's trouble is around the corner. Okay, we need to get ourselves spiritually ready, mentally ready, emotionally ready for what's to come. Because suffering, tribulation, affliction is here, man. It's always been here, but it's gonna be turned up. It's gonna be turned up, man, according to the scriptures. And I got a precept on that, man. All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30. Like,
What
Jeremiah.
one, brother? Which one?
Jeremiah 30 verse 7.
I'll get it, brother.
Yeah, man, because our people think that, this is our kingdom, this is our rest. They're comfortable here, and this is not the place to be comfortable,
Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Yeah, who's Jacob? You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Let me know when I get a text.
Okay, Jacob's trouble is nigh,
Let me know
man.
if you see a
Okay, it's going to be worse than 1492. It's going to be worse than 70 AD. It's going to be worse than any time in history. Okay, there's going to be a lot of death. There's going to be a lot of different pestilences. There's going to be famines, natural disasters. All hell is going to break loose here in America and throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Okay? But what are people doing? They celebrating here. They selling their souls to Satan for crumbs. Okay? They trying to hold on to their vain physical possessions. Okay? But all of that is not going to save you. Okay? We need to get ourselves ready, man. All hell is getting ready to break loose here on earth, man. And what do you think is going to save you? Okay? Your silver, your gold, your weapons. None of that's going to be able to save us in these last days, man. Give me Isaiah. Yeah, man. Because we're entering Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is around the corner, man.
This is the book of Isaiah 33:6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation."
Yeah, wisdom and knowledge. What wisdom and knowledge? The wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Shai, of the Holy Scriptures. Okay, not wisdom and knowledge of this wicked society, of this wicked world. Okay, this is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shai. This is what's going to keep us stable. This is what's going to keep us focused. Okay, this is what's going to keep us going through that straight gate, which is going to lead to everlasting life. Okay, that's what's going to keep us stable, man.
It says, "And strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure."
Yeah, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. Okay? The fear of the Lord is his treasure. According to the scriptures, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. What wisdom and knowledge and understanding do 2/3 of our people have? The scripture says, "My people are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge." Okay? This is what we're supposed to be doing. You so-called Negroes, Hispanic, and Native American men have to contribute to this truth. Okay? We're ordained to come out here and preach and prophesy and warn our people for what's to come. Jacob's trouble. Okay? World War III. Okay? Yahweh Shai, the deliverer, our Savior, is coming back to deliver the Most High's elect, man. All hell's getting ready to break loose, man. We need to retain this information, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding as soon as possible. Okay? We need to get our minds spiritually ready, man, for what's coming.
Real quick, but 2/3 of the people, pursuant to Hosea 4:6, 2/3 are destroyed for lack of knowledge, man. They don't have no clue what's going on. Even they didn't want to learn what's going on, man. They were made in the congregation of death because why? The Most High put that angel on them to blind them of what's going down the pike. I'm saying what's coming down the pike, man. So why the Most High put that angel on them to blind them? The Most High put an angel on them. You gotta understand this. The Most High put an angel on them to blind the 2/3 of what's coming down the pike, so they will remain blinded and not know what's going on. But the Lord opened the eyes of his elect, which is a 1/3, 144,000, to understand, and he used discernment. So then here you have 2/3 of these Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that's slated for destruction, man. You people are slated for destruction. Why? Because you are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6, man. You're destroyed for the lack of knowledge. The lack of knowledge of the Lord, statutes, commandments, and the Most High, man. And therefore, I tell you, don't commit adultery. Don't sell drugs. Selling drugs is like being a witch, you know. Don't be wicked. Don't let your sins weigh you down. But they don't understand that because why? They continue to be gangbangers. They continue to do what they do, man. That's why they get taken out, man. Because they destroy for the lack of knowledge. It is what it is, man. So I understand what the Most High is doing. You see, people, two-thirds you Negroes and Spanish and Native Americans are not considering as a great famine coming. They're not considering it, man. Why? Because you're too busy with TikTok, and all the rest of these social media outlets that's not telling you what's going down the pipe, man. You're just serving your own belly, man. Having a good time, you know? Looking to see how can you prosper in this broken down society that's serving in the drain, man. You don't see what's going down the pipe, man. You don't see that it's a great famine coming. And you're gonna be taking in that great number and sold to second nature 5 and 1, man. The signs is there, which are the tokens, but you don't see it. It is what it is, man. So you're gonna die the death of the wicked.
This is Psalms 34:7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them.
That's right, man. There's angels literally around brothers throughout the four corners of the earth, okay? Protecting, shielding them from evil, from Satan, from the enemy, the adversary, from the devil, okay? And delivereth them, okay? When all hell breaks loose, the elect, wherever they're scattered at, are going to be protected, are going to be shielded, okay? By the angels, by the mighty holy angels of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, okay? When all hell breaks loose, when the missiles are come to destroy America, what's going to happen? The elect's going to be delivered, man. Why? Because they fear, okay? They fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's the beginning of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, okay? Not your career over here. That's not true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's not what's going to deliver you, okay? The angels ain't going to come and protect you just because, you know, you have a bachelor's degree, okay? That don't matter to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This is what matters. We need to keep the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, man. And we need to serve him, fear him, okay? But 2/3 of our people don't fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Who do they fear? Their master, Satan, the God of this world, okay? The God of this world got our people blinded, believing lies, okay? And then 2/3 of our people that know this truth, they don't consider it according to the Bible, okay?
Oh, taste and see that the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is good.
Yeah, we need to eat this up, man. We need to taste it, savor it, okay? And we need to understand that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is good, okay? But we need to serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, okay? We're servants of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's what we're ordained to be here on planet Earth. We're not here to be NBA players, to be rappers, to be celebrities, to be Hollywood actors, NFL players. We're here to be servants, prophets, servants, okay? Priests, okay? Priests of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. That's what we're here for, man. But 2/3 of our people don't understand that. They don't consider that.
It says, blessed is the man that trusted in him.
Yeah, that's right. Blessed is the man that trusted in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. What does that dollar bill say? Trust in God we trust. That's what 2/3 of our people trust in. They trust in that bag. They trust in selling their soul for whatever crumbs they're going to get here. But that's not what's going to deliver them, man. We need to trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and put all our trust in Yahweh Yahushai. That's what's going to deliver us in these last days.
Oh, fear the Lord.
Fear, man. That's the main thing. For that's the whole duty of the Israelite man. To fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and keep his commandments. Okay, that's our whole duty. This is our purpose in life. You got our people trying to find out their purpose. They don't know what their purpose is, man. This is our purpose, brothers.
Yep. Right.
Yeah. This is our purpose, to be servants of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay?
You have Jake saying that. What is my purpose in this life? The purpose, the whole duty of man, the Israelite man, is to fear the Most High and to obey his commandments. What you talking about? You asking me what's my duty? What's my whole duty in this society, in this world? The whole duty is to fear the Most High and obey his commandments. That's it, man. Fuck with you, your dreams, your aspirations, and your hopes and your desires. Fear the Most High, man. That's it. That's the whole duty of men. And I tell you that in the scriptures. But Jake, they don't want to consider that because they are giving it to the society. They are taking on the concepts of Esau, the so-called white man, which is going to lead them to destruction. That's what Esau is. Esau has been given a great sword, man. He's the son of perdition, the son of destruction. So if you follow the ways of Esau, you're going to follow him to destruction. And that's the bottom line, man. But you people can't see that because you're a part of this world. Right over Esau. You're going to perish in this world right over Esau.
It says, "Oh, fear the Lord, yea, his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him."
Yeah, man, his saints, you so-called Negroes, Hispanic, and Native American men, okay? The elect, the 144,000, those are the saints of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the governing body, okay? The governing body is the governing body that's going to govern under Yahweh Shai, okay? The house of David, under King David, okay? In the near future, in the kingdom to come, which is going to be established here on planet Earth. That's the governing body, the saints, man. Those are the leaders of our people, man. Okay, and they're here. We're here today, man. We're here today, Lord willing, we're part of the hopeful elect, man. Because that's what we out here for, man. We out here to warn our people. We out here to serve the Lord, man. That's all, man.
So you have the saints, you have the ain'ts. Saints,
Saints, and ain'ts.
ain'ts. Ain'ts of the mother nations, man. What vocab can't comprehend. What do they call them? Vocab?
Haman.
Haman Malone.
Haman Malone.
Because he's trying to save the nations and shit.
Yeah, he said Abraham. Anybody that believes in Abraham is a...
But here's the shit though. Here's the thing though. The promise doesn't end at Abraham.
Nope.
It's Abraham, Isaac, and
correct.
Jacob. He stops at Abraham.
Yeah.
Abraham have 8 seeds. So Ishmael can get 9, man. It's Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Those are the saints, man.
Exactly. And Jacob, his name was changed as Israel.
That's
That's
right.
right. Israelites, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's from son, man. But you don't know that. Because you don't, why? Because you haven't been taught that in that cemetery that you was brought up in, man. Because you paid your money.
But he's doing his job, man. That you know, he's doing his job. He's, you know, don't let him do his job. All we have to do is rebuke, man. Rebuke these demons out here. That's all we have to do.
And the only one that's going to be taken by this dude, which is a stumbling block, this dude was set up as a stumbling block. The Most High set this dude up. We got to understand this. The Most High set Camp alone, man, as a stumbling block for the undesirable. So anybody that get taken by this dude, Camp Malone, they got caught up in that stumbling block, man. Because we all know that this dude, Camp Malone, is off, man. He's bugged out, man. He have not a clue what's going on. But those that's following him, you got Jake that's following that dude. They bugged up, man. The Most High got them in a trick man. And that's why the Most High, that's why King David said, let this table be a snare to them. This table was this truth, man. Be a snare to them, man. So now you got these 2/3 that's following behind Camp Malone. They getting taken in that very snare that King David cursed 2/3 with, you know what I'm saying? How about that? How about that? How you like that? King David told them, asked the Most High, let them be taken in the snare, man. You know?
I got earlier we quoted Isaiah 33. We read Isaiah 33:6 about knowledge and wisdom, and understanding, and not just any knowledge and wisdom. 2 Timothy 3:15, and that from a child that has known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation.
That's right, man. So it's the scriptures. This is the scriptures, man. As a child. And the scripture speaks about becoming a new creature and being born and reborn again. Okay? Not going back into your mom's womb, but literally being reborn as a newborn babe, mentally, spiritually. Okay? That's how we gotta be reborn again. And this is the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man.
Right.
This is the way. This is the way to everlasting life. This is the way to salvation, man. There's no other way. There's no other gate. There's only 2 gates, man. The straight gate and the broad gate. The saints, the elect are gonna go through that straight gate, man. Difficulty, okay? Tribulation, affliction, great suffering, great evil. We're ready for that, man. I mean, we're not perfect, man. But we hope and pray we're ready, man. Okay? That's what we're hoping for, man. That the Lord, gives us the spirit to endure, man, and all the hell that's going to come upon this place.
That's right. It says, the holy scriptures which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Yahweh Shai and Mashiach.
That's right, man. the just shall live by faith, man. Okay, this is all about faith, man. It's not about how great of a speaker you are. It's not about how many precepts you know. That's a great thing. Those are gifts. But at the end of the day, it's about faith, brothers. It's about faith, and we need to pray for more faith. Okay, the scripture says pray without ceasing, man. That's something we really need to pray for, man. Faith, man, because we're saying, we have to endure. Or we're all gonna be tested, man. That hour of temptation is nigh. Okay, that hour of temptation is nigh. Okay, and we know what's going on. We know what Esau's up to, man. We know what Esau's up to. We know that's part of his NWO. Okay, that hour of temptation is nigh, and we need to get ourselves spiritually ready, mentally ready. We need to continue praying for more faith to endure what's coming, man. This ain't a joke. This ain't no game. This is serious business, man. This is life or death.
That's right.
We want life, man. We're not living here. 2/3 of our people are trying to live it up here, man. We're not supposed to get comfortable here, man, because this place is going to be destroyed by nuclear fire, brothers.
That's right.
We're not supposed to get comfortable. We have to get ourselves ready, man. Spiritually, man. Mentally. We got to get ourselves ready, man. That's what's faith. Pray for more faith. That's what we need to be praying for. Endurance. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Right, bro. Got you, bro. This is 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night.
That's correct, man. That's right. Because when a thief comes and takes what the thief wants, the thief doesn't warn you and send you a notification to your phone. The thief doesn't tell you a week prior, oh, I'm coming. Nah, Yahushua is coming as a thief in the night, man. Yahushua is going to come when you least expect it. Okay, that's when Yahushua is coming, man. So you got our people, these dumb Christians talking about they're saved, okay? That they're saved, Jesus saved me. Man, you people are going to be hit with a rude awakening, man. The Lord is coming as a thief in the night, man. Okay? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Go ahead, bro.
It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
What is that speaking of? The earth shall melt with fervent heat. The nuclear missiles, the intercontinental ballistic missiles, hypersonic missiles.
I got a video, but it's on my phone.
That's what's going to burn this place up, and it's going to burn the works of this place. All these false idols, okay? These pagan holidays, okay? Idol worship, these whores, these adulteresses, okay? These thieves, these witches, these warlocks amongst our people, okay? This place is going to be burnt up by fire, by fervent heat.
I'm gonna say this real quick. My phone is being recorded, but I can't use it. But India. Now, 3 days ago, the North Korean military shut off missiles in the Sea of Japan. But now you got today, it's being shot off missiles from India. ICBM nuclear missile from India. It's being shot off. These nations are getting together, and they what they doing? They shooting their missiles, man, showing forth their military might. Because America, they see America's in decline. 40 years ago, do you think these nations would be bucking up against America? Of course not, man. But these nations see the decline of the American economy, of the American military, how they've been defeated over in Afghanistan, just like the Russians was defeated over in Afghanistan. There's a reason why this dude, Alexander the Greek, didn't go over to and invade the land of the Ishmaelites, man. There's a reason why he didn't do that. Because that's a graveyard of kings. So just like the Russian government suffered defeat in Afghanistan, the United States government, after a 20-year battle, suffered defeat. And now you have the economy is going down, man. You gotta go.
Verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
Yeah, man, holy conversation. This is what we're doing right now. This is holy conversation. This is godliness. Okay, not going out to a barbecue on camp day. Okay, not taking your woman out before camp. No, if you got a woman, or if you want a barbecue, you wait till after camp. Okay, the work of the Lord has to be done, man.
That's right. Hey man, you know, there's been times when my woman asked me, "Would you spend time with her?" I'm like, after camp. After camp, we get together, we do what we gotta do. And that's what the brother's saying, you know what I'm saying? After camp, once you do the work of the Most High, you put your videos up, and after camp, you chill with your women, you go out, get something to eat, that's all fine and dandy. You ain't doing nothing wrong. Because you did the work of the Most High. First and foremost, the work of the Most High is the first priority of any man that's in this truth. After that, once you got time to yourself and it's early enough, you can go take your woman out, you'll get something to eat, that's good, man. So now you please the Most High, you please this bitch. You know what I mean? But the Most High needs to be pleased first, far beyond this woman, man. So that's what needs to be pleased first. The woman, the man, I'm saying the Most High, Yahweh Shah.
Because the nation of Israel is likened unto a woman. Okay? You so-called Negro and Hispanic Native American men, we're the Most High's woman, man. Spiritually. That's our husband, man.
It says, verse 12, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High. I want to say something quickly. IUIC, they had these little niggas in their garments. I'm not even dissing like that. You had these little Israelites in their garments, they were like that. And they said, the prophets of the coming generations, or the next generation.
Bullshit.
So in other words, they want to see these guys grow out to fill out their garments and shit, man. But the scripture says, looking for and hasten. So, wait a minute. You're not in the right spirit. If you want to see a dude grow up, camp, remember use this? Yeah, that's your own selfish belly. Our mindset is we don't want to get all the elders and continue the cycle. We want this shit to end yesterday.
That's a great point. And we're not going to prophesy in the kingdom of heaven. So that means, that's a great point, because that means that they want to be here 20 years.
Well, but I get out of that real quick. So with the second Ezra 9:1, they're not measuring the time of Israel itself. They're not measuring the time. Because we see what's coming down the pipe. We see what's going on. So they're not measuring the time. What they're doing is grooming the younger men to be prophets. And that shit don't mean nothing, man. Because the Most High gonna destroy all of them. Why? Because they're not growing up in the true nature of the Most High. They're being brought and bred forth by false prophets. And that's why the Most High will destroy them. And that's why they're saying that the future prophets, the Most High, man, listen, man. We're in the time of prophecy. We have to measure the time diligently in itself. So to 2nd Ezra 9:1, Matthew the 24th chapter, the 4th verse, on down, man. We want to measure the time diligently in itself, man. We ain't got time to be playing games and to be moving young men, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old to be future prophets. That's bullshit, man. We're in the time of prophecy now, man. We're in the time of the Most High and visiting the world which He made. That's when you see earthquakes, famines, upwards of the peoples. You see people getting put to death. You see the Most High having these different earthquakes and these different pestilences.
Monkeypox.
And you see these different weather patterns happening. The Most High is doing that, man. Watch, we're at the time of the end, man. That's why we have to measure the time diligently in itself, pursuant to 2nd Ezra 9:1 on down, man. So what the hell you out there talking about the future prophets, young dudes, 5 and 6, with their hands up? Get the fuck out my face, man. You take that philosophy and you deal with it, man. I'm dealing with the true nature of Yahweh Shah, man. Most High said, measure out the time diligently in itself. That's what we're doing, man. And we see the prophecies coming to pass, man. So we're not in the time of mirth, of raising up the future prophets. We're in the time of death and destruction where the Most High is bringing judgment. Bottom line, we're in the time of judgment, and I hope the Most High speed things up so you wicked Israelites can see that, man. The Most High is bringing judgment, man. Damn, man. How much more can we say? The Most High is bringing judgments. You got your sons and your sons out there, 5 years old with a garment on, with his head up in the air. What that mean, man? He's a false prophet like you are. Because you ain't teaching the truth. So you ain't teaching your son the truth. So he's going to be a false prophet like you. So the Most High is going to raise up more false prophets? God damn. Yeah, bro.
This is reading on. It says, verse 12, 2 Peter 3:12. Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Yeah, man, this place is gonna melt, man. America's gonna be a desert, man. It's gonna be a wasteland. Okay? We ain't supposed to be striving to or thinking about 20 years from now. You know? We supposed to be hoping that the Lord brings judgment upon this place soon, ASAP. You know, we want to get out of here, man. We don't feel comfortable. We're not at rest here.
Brother, you took the word out of my brain. Comfortable, man. Those guys are comfortable. If you in a state of discomfort and catch a hell, that makes you want to yearn for the Lord's help. But everything is Gucci and shit, you're like, I'm good, you know? And those guys are on their knees, man. What shows you that the Lord ain't fucking with them. The Lord's really dealing with you, he's going to put you through shit. Verse 13, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Yeah, after this place, man, there's no righteousness here, man. This place is pure evil. This place glorifies death and destruction, man. We're hoping that Yahweh sends his only begotten Son, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, as soon as possible, man, to deliver the Most High's elect. Because this place is hell. We're not comfortable here. We understand that we're not living life here, man. This is our hell. This is our captivity. Okay? So we want things to speed up for a reason, man. We're not thinking about 20 years from now. Okay? We're living life day by day. That's what how we're supposed to be living our life and measuring the times diligently. Okay? What times we're in? We're in the time of death and destruction. Okay? We're in the time of hell, man. Of tribulation, of affliction, great suffering. Okay, Jacob's trouble is around the corner. Okay, why the hell am I gonna be thinking about prophesying over here 20 years from now, man? Why am I gonna be thinking about that? In the kingdom of heaven, which is gonna be established here on earth, we're not gonna be prophesying no more. We don't want to be here no more.
The future prophets, little young dudes, 7, 8 years old with their fists up in the air. Right.
And then they're gonna grow to want to see the future prophets of their time. So you want to just keep fucking going.
They're comfortable here.
What that is future false prophets.
Ain't gonna be no future false prophets.
The Most High ain't raising no false prophets, man. We tell you what's coming down the pipe, man. Measure down the time, diligently in itself, pursuant to 2nd Esdras 9:1, man. Pursuant to Matthew chapter 50, the 24th chapter, the 4th verse on down, man. Giving you straight skinny, man. The Most High ain't raising no false prophets, man. No you young brothers. We're in the time of prophecy now. We're in the time of death and destruction now, man. You want to measure the time diligently in itself, man. For Esau, the so-called white man, is the end of the world, and Jacob is that which followeth, man.
The word there for new is kainos, and it says new
Fresh.
as respects from recently made fresh.
Refresh.
Yeah, so
Kainos meant to refresh. Yes, right. You got it, bro.
Because when it says new heavens, new earth, some people says that the planet Earth itself is going to blow up.
Yeah.
But the scriptures tell you the earth abideth forever. It's talking about a rulership. And it says refresh, meaning back to what Solomon was doing. How was shot. We saw a glimpse of it. You're going to come back and get a new temple. You know, you got to go for this scripture right here. This is the book of Isaiah 54 and 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument. Now, who's the smith? That's those German scientists. Germans are the tribe of Teman amongst the Edomites, and the Temanites are known for like their wisdom. See, so you have German engineering, whether it's for cars or jet engine, all that type of shit. All the scientists. You had something called Operation Paperclip. When World War II ended,
It's beautiful. I was thinking about that.
you had the Russians and the United States fighting over German scientists. And one of the German scientists that worked on the created with Kennedy came up with that, what's it called, arsenic gas? Or I forgot the name of that gas. I believe it's arsenic gas. But he created one of those powerful gas that kill people. Saying, so this whole idea of fucking Nazis and all that, no, look at as Edomites, one of those Temanites. So that's the Smith, all right? Document the Manhattan Projects, all those Edomites and German scientists, the Mossad put them in mind to create atomic destruction.
So you gotta understand something, bro. You gotta understand something. They try to paint the Germans as being the bad guys, but no, the Germans are all Edomites. You got Edomite scientists that was the Germans. The reason why World War I started because Germany they had a lot of technology that Great Britain was trying to go against them because they didn't want them to flourish above them. But in World War II, you know, they brought forth their scientists that was creating different kind of weaponry that was far advanced in Great Britain, and that's why once World War II got kicked off and ended in 1945, they split because Russia had a hand in defeating the Germans. So Russia, they got their scientists, and United States, they got their scientists, and Great Britain, they got their scientists. That's Project Paperclip. And therefore, once all these nations, the Germans, they so-called went down, but no, they didn't go down. What they did was divvy up the scientists. Some went to Great Britain, some went to Germany, and some went to the United States. And that's what happened. That's still what Project Paperclip. Hence we have these nuclear weapons that has been created in the day and age we live in now. Because Germany has not been defeated. Nazism is an ideology. It's not something that's physical. It's an idea. So you got all these different nations, they Nazis too. It's called Nazism. And Nazism is not going to die until the Mossad kill that shit. Until Yahweh cracked up the skies, bringing death, destruction, and deliverance. Esau is going to continue with his Nazism, his white supremacy, and his one world religion with his Aryan race that so-called Adolf Hitler was trying to produce, man. The Aryan race is a so-called white race that's superior, far superior to any race in the world, man. Which is number white supremacy, man. That's just bullshit, man. Esau, you base. You the basis of men pursuant to Daniel to the 4th verse 17. Was it 4 and 7? 17 or 4 and 7?
No, 4:17, you right.
4 and 17, where you the basis of men.
Yep.
You base, man. You ain't no superior race, you base, man. You belong in them Caucasus Mountains where you going back to. You going back to your original state as being a peasant, man. Started with the Rothschilds. Your true name is Bauer, which means peasant, man. You going back to your original state, man.
Oh, the spirit.
So I don't know, you think you going on that you think that your society is going to continue forever? That your empire is going to continue from generation to generation? Hell fucking no, man.
That's right, man.
The Lord got you in a trick bag, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Cracker,
Mm-hmm.
red bastard.
Mm-hmm.
It's Isaiah 54 and 16, and I looked it up, it was sarin gas. Sarin gas. It says, behold, I created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work.
That's the missiles, man. Who you think created those missiles, man? Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, put that thought into the minds of these scientists to create it for their own destruction. They're destroying their own kingdom. The Most High is utilizing Esau, Edom to bring destruction upon himself and his own kingdom.
That's right.
It says, and I've created the waster to destroy.
Yeah, man, this place is going to be destroyed by fire. America's going to be destroyed by nuclear fire, okay? People don't want that to happen. Why? Because you're comfortable here. People don't speak about that. You're not warning the people about that. People are thinking of 20 years from now. That's not the spirit of being.
That's right.
That's not the spirit of a man of the Lord, okay? You're supposed to be hoping that everything pops off soon as possible, because we're not comfortable here. We should not be comfortable.
I got a precept. You got more? This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 1. Going into the future prophecy and the demise of America, which is Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, spiritually Egypt, spiritually Sodom, and spiritually, Nineveh, so forth and so on. So it reads, Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 1, for lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon and the assembly of great nations. And we see that happening right now. Look what's going on. India shut off missiles, man. I got an article. It's on my phone. 4 hours ago, probably 6 hours ago, India shut off a missile. Not only did India, North Korea. They shoot up these missiles in preparation of the War of Armageddon, which is World War III, according to Esau. Right? But according to the scriptures, it's the War of Armageddon. Armageddon, the mountain of trust. Right? So here you have it, man. It says, for lo, Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 1, 50 verse 9, for lo, I will cause, it's like kind of excited. Jeremiah 50 verse 9, for lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon, which is America, and the assembly of great nations. Great Britain, Germany, France, the American allies, but besides them, you got Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, Pakistan, India, Ethiopia, Libya, all these nations that's capable of bending the bow. Man. They tell you that in Ezekiel, the 30th chapter, man. All these nations that's going to come up against America, man. It says, from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. That's why I tell you in Isaiah 24:19 on down, the earth is going to roll to and fro like a drunkard. Like I tell you in 2nd Ezra 12th chapter on down, the earth quickening and the foundation is raised anew, worth paraphrasing it, because that's these missiles being shot off, man, from one end to the earth to the next, man, to destroy this bitch, man, they call Babylon, to destroy America, man. So it reads, it says, from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her, military formation. From thence shall she be taken. An arrow out of nuclear missiles of hypersonic, supersonic, ICBM nuclear missiles that will be shot off, shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And Chaldean shall be a sport. All that spoil shall be satisfied, saith the Lord. Now, when you go into 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, the 12th verse, no, 16th chapter, the 12th verse, it tells you how the earth quaking is, and the foundation is going to be moved out of this place. You see? It's telling you, man. Telling you, same thing that's happening in Jeremiah 15:1. It's telling you the same that's going to happen in Isaiah, the 24th chapter, the 19th verse on down,
well as Isaiah, it's like Isaiah 34th chapter, as well as in Second Ezra, the 16th chapter to the 12th verse over down. It's telling you, man, the destruction of America. Bottom line, man, whether you were here, whether you forbear, America is going to be destroyed. And so is the prophecy, according to prophecy.
So Ezekiel 21:9, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, say, a sword is sharpened.
These aren't our words, these are the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay, so we out here warning you. We out here letting you know what's going to come to pass in the near future. That's destruction, not peace. War's coming, death and destruction.
Now what's that sword? The sharpened missiles. We went from an atomic bomb that took out, a city. Now we have nuclear bombs that can take out states the size of Texas. That's what it means by a sword sharpen, man. Because a sword is an instrument of destruction, and when you sharpen it, now it can do more destruction. A knife can't do what a goddamn Hanzo sword could do because it's not a sharp.
And when you sharpen your sword, that means you carry your sword.
That's right.
To do battle, for war.
Right, that's a good point, because somebody might say, well, why is all these missiles in the silos? Because they keep getting sharpened more and more. Now you got missiles the size of these buildings that are traveling 3-5 times the speed of a bullet.
Why do you think in India, today India, I got an article was on my phone, my phone is being recorded, India shot up missiles. North Korea shot up missiles in the Sea of Japan. They sharpen their swords, man. But that's the ultimate sword that's going to end Esau's kingdom. But before Esau's kingdom be ended, you have another sword that's being sharpened for the day of martial law, for the day of Jacob's trouble. And that day is coming, man. And we've been warning you, even though it's terrible, but still, guess what? The words of the Most High is going to come to pass, man. We telling you that the day of destruction is coming, man. The day of Jacob's trouble is coming. We telling you, man. Whether you were here, whether you were forbid, but only the elect is going to take heed, man. That's it.
It says, thus saith the Lord, say a sword is sharpened, and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter.
Wow, these little missiles, man, it's going to destroy this whole place, man. Babylon, aka America. This place is going to be a wasteland. It's going to be destroyed by fire. Okay, it's going to be uninhabited after that, man.
When you go deeper, that sword that's being sharpened to make a sword slaughter, what you see happen in Buffalo, that's the sword of the Most High. What you saw happen in Texas, man, that's the Most High having that sword that's being sharpened to make a sword slaughter. Even though Esau did that in Buffalo, but then you had a so-called transgender Ephraimite or Ishmaelite, whatever the hell he was, did that shit. But guess what? That was the Most High, man. That was judgment of the Most High.
The scripture ties in with Isaiah 66 and 15. The scripture says, the slain of the Lord shall be many. It's a sore slaughter. That's the missiles. The missiles are going to kill millions.
Yeah.
That nigga killed 10 people. That ain't shit. The missiles are going to kill billions. Man.
Exactly, but that's the ultimate sword. Pursuant to Zechariah 13 and what was it?
Zechariah
14 to 12 with the both sides. That's going to be the plague. That's the ultimate plague, man. But you're going to have multiple plagues coming before that. You see what happened in Texas? You see what happened in Buffalo? There's going to be more shootings like that, man. The Most High is sharpening the sword pursuant to Ezekiel 21 and 9. Jeremiah 15 verse 1 to 3, man. The Most High sharpening the sword, man.
You know what proves that is the missiles being sharpened? Because when they were first used in 1942, they couldn't kill billions. They could only kill millions. I don't know how much people died in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, maybe hundreds of thousands. Now, they could pretty much terraform the planet Earth. And that's not even that long of a time. 60 years, 60, 70 years, that's like a generation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right, bro.
So when these missiles detonate, matter of fact too, an intercontinental ballistic missile on paper could be intercepted because it has a predetermined path. It goes up and it comes down, so you can intercept it with another missile. But then the Lord said, you know what, let's make them hypersonic, whereas there's no predetermined path. It could actually change path. So that's the equivalent of trying to shoot a bullet with another bullet that can curve, which is impossible.
That's what the Lord said. I will come as a thief in the night, because these hypersonic missiles cannot be detected through radar.
Wow.
So they can show you that they got some kind of thing over them, but they can't be detected through radar. So now the Most High is going to come as a thief in the night.
That's heavy, bro. That makes me think about that. You ever seen that plane? It looked like a paper plane, and like it's called like a, I forgot what it's called, but it's huge. But on the radar, it's like the size of a baseball. But and it's the way they built it, like how to reflect shit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the fact that you said that they got missiles that's like damn near undetectable, that's them. The way they made it and shit, like. Come on, man! You can't tell me the Lord has not been sharpening it and making the instruments of destruction.
Now, what's
It's all more technologically advanced.
What's the test flying a missile 3 days ago? Then you got India test flying another missile. Today, it's in the it's in the news, but I got it on my phone. But you know, they're not showing you these things on the mainstream media because they try to keep it out of sight, because the United States, they losing they fucking authority over all these different nations, because 40 years ago, you wouldn't hear of North Korea or China shooting off missiles. 50 years ago, you wouldn't hear that. Because they gotta get permission from the United States government to test fire a missile, if they get permission. But now they're like, yo, listen, man, the Most High made them small, made America small amongst the heathen. All these different nations, they're like, man, listen, man, I ain't trying to hear you no more, man. You know? I got nuclear technology. I'm gonna, you know, test my shit, you know what I mean? But that's what you say. And that's why you got India test flying the missiles off. You got North Korea test flying missiles off. You got Germany, you know, defying the wishes of America and still buying oil from Russia, you know, because they gotta live, man. So, man, we in a town where the Esau, the so-called white man, they nation started with all these different nations, European nations. They divided, they divided against each other. Esau, even the Russians, they Edomites, man. But the Mosai, the Surah to Second Ezra's 11 and 12, the feathers that's contrary to the rebel feathers, that's the Russians, man. And they're gonna come up against America, man. And that's how the Mosai set it up.
Contrary feathers in Second Ezra? That's
Said-
one of the Romans.
Caesars, yeah, you're right, the Caesars, but then you got the contrary feathers that set up that's going against each other. Yeah, but then you're right, bro. Caesars, yeah, set up, you're right, bro. Now you got the Russians that's within that body. They're not in that body. It's like they're not in that body. They are set up to be contrary to go against that whole system, which is the eagle and the feathers. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go against that whole system and destroy them. It's like it, bro. You right, bro.
Now the eagles and the feathers, that has nothing to do with the Russians.
That's the Romans. It's like you're right. You're right. It's like
Iron sharpened iron.
Yeah, it's all good.
so now you have Slacky, bro. You're right, bro. You have now the same feathers is gonna be destroyed. The Most High gonna use Gog and Magog, which is Russia, to destroy that system, man, that Esau set up.
You gotta remember, the Russians are part of that same beast, the head being the lion, when it started with Alexander, but the feet being like a bear, means it's gonna end with the Russians, because they're all Edomites. So after America is destroyed, all right, the nation that's gonna be leading the charge against Yahushua is the Russians.
Yeah.
The Russians, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna end with them.
Because once America's destroyed, Russia's gonna be like that prominent dominant force.
Yep.
And so, hey, oh shit, you know what I mean? But then when Yahweh shall come back and crack through the skies, who's gonna lead the force at the back? Like you said, Esau is still Russia, you know, and they're gonna lead that force, and they're gonna be destroyed, man.
It says, Ezekiel 21:10, it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter, it is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth?
We're not in the time of mirth, man. You see, that sword is being sharpened And it's glittering because why? Would you see what's going on? How that sword is glittering? That sword, you see what's going on in Texas? Hey man, the Most High killed this. Yo, that's sort of Ezekiel 9 and 4. Buffalo, old. Texas, young. Old and young, man. The Most High is bringing forth his sword, man. You know, and there's gonna be more judgments coming down the path, man. Coming down the pipe, man. That's only the tip of the iceberg. The tip. Because the iceberg goes deep, man. So that sword is being sharpened, man. And the Lord is going to allow Esau to make a sword slaughter, man. Because just like King David said, pursuant to Psalm 17, verse 13, he prayed and begged the Most High to deliver him from the wicked, which is that sword. Who is the wicked? Malachi, the 1st chapter, the 4th verse, which is talking about Esau, man. Edom, man. So Esau is going to bring forth that sword slaughter, man. You got more on that right there?
Yeah. It says, it contemneth the rod of my son as every tree.
You got more? It's more, right? Go on to the next verse.
Verse 11. And he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened and it is furbished, so to give into the hand of the slayer.
All right, okay, shut up. Okay, so read it again, Bible Shuffle.
It says, and he hath given it to be furbished.
Who is he? Yahweh has been given it to the hands of Esau to be furbished, man. Read.
That it may be handled.
That it may be handled. Who's going to handle this sword that's going to do a great slaughter? Who has been given the blessing of the sword, man? Esau, the so-called white man. Read.
The sword is sharpened and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer.
Who was the slayer? Esau, the so-called white man, who was given the power to take peace from the earth, man, which is that red horse, man, Esau, man, the so-called white man. He has been given the sword to be furbished, and he's going to handle it. And this sword has been given to the hands of the slayer. Who is the slayer? Esau, the so-called white man, the wicked who has been given the blessing of the sword. Read, you got more? And that's why you see, real quick, that's why you see these paramilitary groups, whether it's the National Guard, the Gurkha troops, Interpol, they practicing, man. Why do you think all these people are coming together, all these groups are coming together, and they're doing what they're doing, man? And Jacob have not a clue, man. Jacob just totally bugged out of their mind, they lost, man. Only the elect has seen what's going on, man. Because they got their eyes out, man. They see things through the dark, man. And therefore, that's why we telling you what's coming down the pike, man. Whether you were here, whether you were forbear, pursuant to Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, the 17th verse. Got more on that?
It says, and it,
12th verse.
God, it says, and he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled.
And the Lord allowed Esau to handle this sword, man. He's furbishing this sword, sharpening this sword, man. For the hour of Jacob's, for the hour, for the time of Jacob's trouble, pursuant to Jeremiah 30 and 7. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. Read.
This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer.
Who is the slayer? Esau, the so-called white man, pursuant to Psalm 17, verse 13. Where King David prayed to the Lord to deliver him from the wicked, which is that sword, man. For the people of this world, for their hand, man, the hand of the Most High, that's going to bring forth judgment upon the 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. The Lord ain't playing, man. We warning you, man. Read.
Cry and howl, Son of man, for it shall be upon my people, it shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people.
And we out here crying and howling, man. We telling you, man, what's coming down the pipe, man. We telling you, terrors by the reason of the sword is going to be upon our people. You Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Mainly you women, man. These women, they're going to catch the most hell, man. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to relax, man. I'm going to laugh and enjoy what's coming down the pipe for these black-ass nigga fucking women, man. I hate you, fucking black bitches, man. Because y'all ain't right in the spirit, man. You're totally against the so-called black man, man. And therefore, you're going to receive their judgment, man. Because you are joint heirs, you nigga women are joint heirs with Esau in this kingdom, man. You're joint heirs with the so-called white man. You're married unto the so-called white man.
You're a joint heirs, man, in this kingdom. That's where you got all kind of rights, man. When I mean you Negroes, when I mean the Negro woman, I'm talking about from the nigger woman on down to Issachar, man. All of y'all got rights in this society, man. Who's the top bitch? The nigger woman, man.
Smite therefore upon thy thigh.
And that's what we say, damn. All kind of hell's gonna come upon you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans in this kingdom, man. All kind of hell is coming upon y'all, man. By the way of the sword, by the way of the famine, by the way of pestilence, by the way of the sword. It's all coming down, man. And you can't accept it. And you cannot escape the judgment of the Lord Yahweh while Yahweh Shah. Because judgment is upon the 2/3, man. I'm telling you, but you don't want to hear. You got more?
I got some. Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear.
And that's what we doing. We telling you, not only we bringing out this information to Negroes, Hispanics, and Americans, we prophesizing against the nations, man. We saw it to Jeremiah, what the Most High said, he told Jeremiah, I said you're supposed to be a prophet amongst the nations, man. So now we telling not only the Israelites in this society that the set destruction that's coming, we prophesizing against the nations, man. We bringing back the truth. I'm saying we bringing back the 1/3 in the fold. We prophesizing against the 2/3, man. Who refuse to get right, man. And the rest of the nations, man. Read that again.
Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it.
Did not the Most High give Jeremiah a cup to give unto to all the nations? And all the nations going to drink at that cup, man? That cup is the cup of slavery, the cup of trouble. Israel, which are you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, drink at that cup. So you don't think the other nations going to drink at that cup? So we telling you what's coming down the pike, man. And that's that cup that's Jeremiah was bringing to the different nations, man. And now it's in the form of thermonuclear destruction, man. Read it again, bro.
Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world.
Let the earth hear, and all that's within in the world, man. We telling you what's coming down the pipe. Thermonuclear destruction. Concentrated fire from them chariots, man. When Yahweh shot crack in the skies, bringing death, destruction, and deliverance, man. But only the elect is going to get in, man. The rest is going, the 2/3 is going to scoff and scorn to their hurt, to their destruction, man. And that's why we telling you, we prophesizing, and we telling you to give in by all the other nations, man.
And all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations.
For the indignation means righteous anger of the Lord is upon all nations, man. The righteous anger of the Lord is upon all nations. And the Lord has all the right to be angry with all these different nations because they bow down to different deities. So the righteous anger of the Lord is upon all these different nations, man. And they're going to receive their judgment. Right along with the 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that's following the ways of Esau. And also these different nations. You got niggas that's Buddhists. You got niggas that's in Islam, man. So you're going to bow down to the slaughter. Right along to the rest of these niggas, man. Right along to the rest of these nations. You're all going to bow down to the slaughter. Read, bro.
For the indignation of the Lord.
And the indignation of the Lord is to bow down to the slaughter. Righteous anger. Read.
Is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them.
What's the fury of the Most High upon all their armies? Thermonuclear destruction and concentrated fire from them chariots, man. See, Isaiah the 34th chapter is a beautiful chapter, man. Because it shows you that the Most High has a sacrifice, man. That America, and I learned this from the Apostle Tahar, the altar, that America is nothing but a big ass altar waiting to be sacrificed, man. And all the inhabitants in America is the great sacrifice that's gonna be offered. It's gonna be offered on that. It's gonna be offered on that altar, man. See? Read.
And his fury upon all their armies.
And that fury is that thermonuclear destruction, the concentrated fire from the chariots.
He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses.
And that's different scriptures that could back this up. Jeremiah 25, 31 down to 33. Isaiah 66, verse 15. The slain of the Lord shall be many. There's various scriptures that could back this up right now in Isaiah, the 34th chapter. The Most High is going to bring death and destruction, man. You people have not a clue what's going on because you stuck. You got your head so far up the white man's ass, you can't even smell nothing but white man shit, man. That's it. Y'all don't hear no truth. You got Stockholm Syndrome, man. One day you smell this white man shit, and you got Stockholm Syndrome. And then when you see, we got the sign out here, you see the sign, you walk by, instead of inquiring about yourself and how you gonna be saved, you inquiring about how Esau, the so-called white man, is gonna be saved, why he's not on the sign. That's the condition and the mindset of you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. And that happened plenty of times in my experience in this truth, man. On 34th Street, mainly on 34th Street, man. You got a nigga woman pass by, or you got some simple-minded ass nigga pass by, and they see the sign, and they don't see Esau, the so-called white man, on the sign, and they're inquiring about why Esau, the so-called white man, is not on the sign, man. Instead of inquiring about how they could be saved, man. It's crazy, man. Yeah, bro.
He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter.
640.
Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their
I
blood.
got it, right?
And
so I can read that again?
and their mountains shall be.
Start it from again, because I got caught, man. I had to get a text. You know what I'm saying? So read it again.
Their slain also shall be cast out.
They're slain, talking about the slaying of you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. The Most High is going to do much damage. You see what happened? You see what happened in Texas? You see what happened in Buffalo? That's nothing. The Most High is going to bring death and destruction, man. And he's warning you. And we telling you, repent, man. Repent. Repent. What's so hard about that? Repent.
Stop.
Stop being gangbangers. Stop being adulterers. Stop being adulterous, man. Stop selling drugs. Repent, man. Repent. What's so hard about that, man? If you don't repent, the Most High gonna fuck you up, man.
That's right.
You see what happened to them old hoes in Buffalo? The Most High fucked them old hoes up. Even though they had the big ass Bibles, going to church, big ass Bible with the big ass hats on, like Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch, with the big ass elephant ankles, going to the fucking churches, wobbling from eating pork and everything. The Most High, after that church ceremony, guess what? They was going to do their regular outings. The Most High killed them, man. And I guarantee they was going to get pork chops, pork loins, pork shoulder, bacon, shrimp. Nothing righteous, man. And the Most High put them old hoes to death, man. Hey, the Most High do balance. The Most High killed niggas, then he killed space. That's balance, bro. It may sound funny, but the Most High killed niggas, then he killed space.
So what that church was all them niggas away, right?
No, I'm talking about the niggas that win.
Oh, in Texas?
I'm talking about Texas. Well, the niggas, the Most High killed niggas in Texas, then he killed Spence. Little kids in Texas, man. The Most High did with balance, man. Now what, man? What excuse you got now, man? You still gonna scoff and scorn? We telling you. We've been warning you. Repent. These destructions is coming, man. It's the destruction coming from the Almighty, man. Repent. That's all we telling you. Repent. Acknowledge your offense. Acknowledge to the Most High that you've been doing all kind of manner of wickedness, and the Most High pay a rich man save you, man. But if not, You're gonna bow down to the slaughter. You're gonna bow down to the slaughter. You understand? Are you comprehending? That's all we gotta say. You got more?
And their stink shall come up out of their carcasses.
You can have mad bodies laid out in these streets, man. It's telling you. Jeremiah 25, 31 down to 33, man. How the slain of the Lord should be going it up to the next, man. Isaiah 66, verse 15, man. Or 65, verse 15. How the slain of the Lord shall be many, man. So we telling you these things, man. We warning you what's coming down the pipe, but you people refuse to hear because you're stiff-necked and you're hard-hearted, man. You're the same spirits that was back in the ancient world, man. That was slain and destroying the prophets, man. But now you can't do it to us now because Esau got his little shit set up that you can't go out there and outright murder somebody. But guess what? You're demonizers. You're slanderers, man. You're calling us homosexuals. You're calling us rapists, pedophiles. You're demonizers, man. But back then you were slaying the prophets. Now you're demonizing the prophets. There's no what's different from back then and now, man. You're gonna pay. All of you people. You got more?
And the mountain shall be melted with their blood.
And the mountains, governments, melted with the blood of these different nations, man. Mainly Esau, the so-called white man. The mountains represent governments, man. The mountain of Esau, the mountain of Moab, the mountain of Ammon, the mountain of Ishmael, the mountain of Ham. All these different nations is gonna bow down to the slaughter, man. Right along the 2/3 that's bowing down and being a part of the system. You want to be a homosexual, the Most High will destroy you. You want to take cock in your ass, the Most High will destroy you, man. The Most High will destroy you, man. You're going to bow down to the slaughter. You're going to bow down the way Esau is going to bow down to the slaughter, man. All of y'all, man.
And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
And that's talking about thermonuclear destruction. When the nuclear missiles detonate and how the heavens gonna be rolled together like a scroll, that's that mushroom cloud, man.
And all their hosts shall fall down.
All the hosts means armies. All the hosts of the war shall fall down, man. You go into the book of 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, it straightly tell you how the Lord's gonna bring death and destruction, man. It plainly tells you, man, how the Lord's gonna bring death and destruction. Because Ezra saw that in the vision, man. How the Lord came down and fucked these nations up, man.
As the leaf falleth off from the vine.
How a leaf falls from the vine is how all these nations are gonna fall down and lose their power, their rulership, you know what I'm saying? Because Yahweh Shah is going to be the only sole ruler in this universe, man.
And as a falling fig from the fig tree.
And as a falling fig from the fig tree. Esau's going to lose his power just like that, man. Like a fig fall from the fig tree. You see grapes fall from the tree when it's ripe and it hit the ground. That's how Esau's going to go down, man. Esau being the so-called white man. Right along with the rest of the nations, man, that's being joint heirs ruling with Esau. Esau is the top man that's ruling in the society. But guess what? These different nations, they have their seat with the beast, man, from one out, man. They are joined unto this goddamn devil.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
With the Most High sword, so to Joel chapter the 3rd chapter, man. The Most High sword is thermonuclear destruction. For the Lord's sword should be bathed in heaven, man. Heaven meaning Esau's rulership, man. Esau being the so-called white man's rulership. For the Lord's sword should be bathed in heaven. Read.
Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
It shall come down upon Idumea. Now, Idumea is the Greek word for saying Edom, man. You can't get around this shit, Esau, man. Your destruction is at hand, man. We are prophesizing the downfall of that goddamn wicked-ass kingdom, man.
Read it again, Bible Sharp.
For my sword shall be bathed.
For the Lord's sword, which pursuant to Joel 3rd chapter and the 2nd chapter, is the missiles, man. Which is some hypersonic, supersonic missiles that pursuant to Jeremiah 50 and 9, the Lord's gonna assemble a great he's gonna assemble a great nation to come up against Babylon, man. That has nuclear missiles, man. Read.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
That sword is about the nuclear missiles, thermonuclear missiles will come up, because they'll come down upon Idumea, man. The people of the Most High's curse, man. There's no getting around this, man. You red ass bastards, you're going down, man.
And upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Who's the people of the Most High's curse, man? Was not Cain cursed with the curse of leprosy, which is having pale skin? Did not Esau come back in the spirit of Cain? Because Esau, everything is reincarnated. Esau came back in the spirit of Cain, man. Through Isaac and Rebecca, man. Did not Esau come back? So it's not Esau, the Most High's curse, that the Most High has cursed him, and he's considered to be judged without remedy. All these different nations, they tell you that in Zondervan Bible Dictionary that Esau is the only nation that was not considered to have any kind of judgment from them, any kind of mercy from the Most High, man. Or the Most High is going to turn back all these different nations' captivity once after 1,000 years. But Esau, you're going to be Obadiah 1 and 18, man. Yeah. And that's it, man.
That's it.
You're going to be Obadiah 1 and 18, man. All these different nations they're going to get their captivity turned back, man. They're going to go back to their land and they're going to serve the Most High. But you red bastard, you're going to be eviscerated, man. You're going to become extinct, man, for all the wickedness you have done, man.
White race, people, so-called white people don't be extinct, but that spirit don't be like
Cut. But guess what? You're going to have that wicked spirit on you, you know what I'm saying? Once you get eviscerated, the Most High going to take that wicked spirit from you, man. And you're going to go into other nations, but you're not going to, because every nation is going to be under the vibration of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, man. So that wicked spirit is not going to be upon you, man. Unlike what Elder Yahab saying, man, that Esau's going to raise him back up after 1,000 years and take Jake down again, man. That's wickedness, man. That ain't happening. You off, nigga.
So-called, basically when Esau time is up, you're not going to see anybody walking around with leprosy. Yahweh Shai, there's no interspirits.
And after 1,000 years of you serving captivity, you're not going to gather all the nations together to come up against Israel and take them down, because we're going to have spiritual power. We're going to have angelic bodies. How the hell are you going to be able to come up against a man that have an angelic body? One man can destroy a goddamn nation. So what the fuck you talking about, Lahab, man? You ain't never the false prophet. The Most High ain't dealing with you, man. The Most High ain't dealing with you, man. And I ain't got no respect for you, man. I don't care if you was a part of the seven, man. I don't got no respect for you, man. You teaching bullshit right now, man.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood, and Lahab, if you ain't getting right, you're going to be a part of that blood, man. The Most High going to destroy you, man. Right along with Esau, man. Nigga. Old nigga. Yeah, bro.
It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams.
And that's talking about when you that's about the altar that the Most High set up. And the Apostle Tahar brought this out, that right there is going into the Lord set up an altar. And America is that great altar. And the goats and the lambs and the kidneys are the people and the inhabitants that's running the land of America. Minus the elect, man. You're all going to be destroyed, man. You're going to bow down to the slaughter. Read.
For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra.
The Lord has a sacrifice in Basra. Basra in the ancient world was a city that Esau controlled, was one of the prominent cities. Basra was a Edomite city that Esau controlled, man. So now the modern day Basra is America, man. The Lord has a sacrifice in Basra. And everybody that's joining to Basra shall fall by the sword, man. Including the 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Man.
And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
And the great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Why? Because the Most High have a great sacrifice, man. America is nothing but a big ass altar, man. That's it. You got more?
This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
Woe to the world, destruction to the world, and them that dwell therein.
For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
And what's that sword? And the destruction draweth nigh. What's that sword? First and foremost, that sword is, the sword comes in the form of pestilence. The sword comes in the form of not only pestilence, but it comes in the form of famine. And then the ultimate sword coming by the way of thermonuclear destruction. Man. Read it again, Papa Kashan.
2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for their sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another.
And that's what you see. That's when you got your class of civilizations. You got your race wars, the middle class fighting against the upper class, and it shows you that. And that movie, what was that movie again? What's it called? It was a movie in the 1800s, and it was showing how
The Revenant.
No, not the Revenant. I forget his name. DiCaprio. Yeah.
In the 1800s,
No, it was a movie that he made. It was called
Gangs in
the
New
Gangs
York.
in New York. Yeah, it shows you in the Gangs in New York how the upper class was exempt from going to war, and they was trying to. This was then the time of the Civil War, where they was the upper class was exempt; they could pay their way out of being drafted, but the poor and the middle class was subject to being drafted. They won't fight a war. They had no. All wars are beggars wars. So what they was doing, that was a class of civilizations. It's gonna be the same thing again, man. Whereas
you know it's there because you got that dude Peyton. He's part of something called white separatists. And if you look these white separatists up, they're pretty much in their right spirit. They don't like you niggas. They don't want to be around you niggas. They see that Esau, everything they saying is pretty accurate.
yeah.
They can't stand you fucking niggas. Remember that one video I put in the chat?
Yeah.
That Edomite said it. He was like, look, because he's a white separatist. When you deal with them, they up front. Ain't no bullshit, ain't no smile on their face. They're going to tell you straight, look. He said, look, when white people typically move, it's not to diversify. They might...
It's to get away from niggas.
Exactly. They might say this and that, but why they have gated communities? They doing everything to separate from you people. But Esau can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Because why? And the guy said it. He was like, Edomites aren't honest because they could lose their job, all that type of shit. But them Edomite separatists over there, they in their right fucking mind and they are ready. They are ready for this shit to go down, man.
They don't give a fuck about you, Jakes, man. And they ready to kill you, Jakes, man.
upstate Edomites is ready too. It's different out there.
Check it out. I saw somebody put on the chat. I saw on TikTok too. Now that when that shit happened in Buffalo, correction officers in Attica, Comstock, Clinton, they was praising that white dude for doing what he did, man. You got racist crackers. Now you got Jake all up in them prisons, you know what I'm saying? And you got these racist crackers posting on YouTube, posting on Instagram, posting on these social media outlets like TikTok, saying that, giving praise and glory to the dude that did that, man. Show me, they don't give a fuck about you niggas, man. When are you niggas gonna learn these crackers do not care about you? These crackers hate you. That hatred goes back to Cain
and Cain and Abel, when you fast forward it and read,
Before that, serpent and the woman's seed.
yeah, and go back to the serpent and the woman seed, you know what I'm saying? But when you go back further, when you fast forward it, Cain and Abel. Cain slew Abel. Cain is Esau coming in the spirit of slaying Jacob. Now you fast forward it to Jacob and Esau. Then now Esau pursued Jacob with the sword. Then now he went to kill Jacob to this very same day. When do you want to understand that these crackers do not care about you? They hate you with a perpetual hatred. Going back in the ancient world, man.
Scripture says, I'll put enmity between thy seed and her seed. Women can't have seed. It's talking about Edomite, whatever you want to call them, whether you want to call them Edomite, sons of the wicked, whatever title they have, their seed will hate the sons of God or Jacob, whatever we can call them. It's always going to be there. That's why it's called a perpetual hatred. Now, them Edomites in them racist countries, you got to give them more credit because they thinking and acting better than them cops over there, because them cops over there will smile in your face, but their true colors is not being shown. Them Edomites over there, they're really going by the scriptures, because the scriptures speak about separatism. You're not supposed to be with other people mingling and shit. And you know what's crazy? Life shows you that. You have a Spanish section where it's done by Dominicans, you have a Jamaicans, you have Little Italy, you have over here nothing but Russians, you have Chinatown. People naturally click up with those familiars. It's natural. It's forcing people together. That's what's causing all the confusion. Now I keep reading on. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another.
Now that word sedition goes back to that word uprising against a monarch or a government, man. And that's what's going to happen, man. And it's been throughout, it periodically spread out throughout the world, but it's going to be sedition among men. Like I said, that's what sedition means, an uprising against a government or a monarch. In this case, we live in it now. We live in a government, man. We're not living in a monarch, even though we're living in a monarch, but it appears to be a government because the monarch is the international bank, is controlling everything, man. But in the sense of a government, there's going to be insurrection against the government, man. Sedition against the government, which means an uprising against the government or a monarch. Read, bro.
It says, for the sword and the destruction draweth not. Now I read that part. Verse 16. 2 Ezra 2 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the curses and the course of their actions shall stand in their hand. In their
Now,
power.
their kings and their princes, talking about their governors and their mayors, man. They ain't gonna be, when it's all hell breaking loose, nobody's gonna regard what the mayor of New York City is gonna say, or the governor of New York State gonna say. They're gonna take their actions in their own hands, man. And of course, that's gonna stand in their own hand. They're gonna be looting and rioting and do what they gotta do, man. You know, only when they bring forth the martial law troops, the Gurkha troops, NYPD ain't gonna be able to help them. It's gonna be the Gurkha troops, the UN troops, Interpol, or the National Guard. That's when they're gonna try to quell the violence, man. But other than that, they're gonna regard the kings, the governors, and the mayors and the governors.
It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes and the courses of the kingdom.
Like I said, the governors and the mayors, the senators, you know, and those that's in authority figures. Like I said, they ain't gonna regard them. They're gonna be going at the looting and rioting. They're gonna do what they want, man. And the course of their power is gonna stand in their hand, man.
It's going to be like a prison riot. It says, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. But even worse than a prison riot, because they ain't going to go to jail after this.
Hell no, it's gonna be all hell breaking loose, man. Women getting raped, men getting the shit beat out of them, men getting killed, women getting killed. It's gonna be all kind of hell breaking loose, man. It's gonna be all kind of hell breaking loose, man. And that's part of the sword of the Most High, man. What it tell you in Luke chapter 12 verse 49, when Yahweh shall come back, will allow, all kind of hell is gonna be breaking loose. What I'm saying when he come back, man.
That's how come they're trying to get rid of guns, man. few people that have their guns because they know when this shit kick. They don't want everybody to be able to defend themselves.
That's pockets of resistance. And that's why they doing these different shootings so they can do. Hey man, it's all designed. It's all order of chaos, man. It's all done by design, man. They doing this so they can get rid of the pockets of resistance. Less pockets of resistance, less we got to worry about the Google troops, the UN troops, and the people getting killed. Because America is filled with guns, man. Illegal as well as legal. Come on.
It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
A man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. Why? Because the city's going to be locked down through martial law, man. The city's going to be locked down through martial law, man. You can't come in, you can't go out, man. And that's just the bottom line. And nobody is telling you nothing that we haven't been telling you from the beginning, man. These are the days that's coming down the pipe, man. And we warning you, fiercely warning you, man. Whether you were here, whether you were forbear, that's just the bottom line. We wrote.
It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Because of their pride, the city shall be destroyed through the act of violence, through the time of insurrection. People shall be afraid because of the act of insurrection. Everything is coming down the pipe, man. So, what time is it?
Should be 6:40. 6:42.
What time you said?
6:40.
All right, so with that, we're going to give more praises to Yahweh.
Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makakwadash.
And double honor to the apostles and elders of the millstone. And salutation you out there that pushes for the truth and it's a safety. And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.